Our future fantasy game. Turn on my light so I can see more. They can see. Last time, our group got captured by some gargoyles.
We haven't quite been captured.
Oh, well, you're surrounded and there's guns pointed at you. So we'll see how this turns out for them this session. As always, with me is Mitch playing his Burster Ignatius, and Deyton playing the ever faithful dog boy Beethoven with his little cask around his neck. All right. So you are in a hotel surrounded by gargoyles in power armor with railguns.
There's two of them, one in the front, one in the back, but one of them's in the city still walking around.
No. There's two in front of the building.
They have assembled, okay.
And then two behind the building as well. So there's two directly facing right into your window, pointing their railguns. And they're telling you to come out.
That's probably our best course of action.
It probably is. I don't want to take a chance with these things.
Alright. Unless...
Shani's just waking up to this now because you were letting her sleep because of her disastrous failure last time and draining all of her magic out. So yeah, they have you climb right out the window.
We don't need to go downstairs.
Yeah, they don't want, because they don't want to lose sight of you, so they just...
Well, they can see through the walls with their sensor suites.
Yeah, but then they have to shoot through the walls and you might get away.
It's true.
They already know you can obscure area. Obscure.
I don't know how they know that.
Because you did it.
I know.
So you climb out. They confiscate your weaponry, which really only matters to you. Then swooping down, a fifth gargoyle comes down, but this one smells of magic. And he is wearing an ornate chest piece and van braces and really a different style of armor, which has robes kind of coming off of it.
He's not power armored.
He is not power armored, but it's magical. He is magical himself, and his armor may or may not be magical as well. But he definitely looks like he's got the hood or robe on with just a chest plate over top of it. And he casts a spell at you guys. And then he points at you.
What kind of spell did he cast?
Do you have knowledge arcane or knowledge anything like that?
Why would I have that?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
You don't know. Yeah. So, but he points at you, and the lead gargoyle, the first one that kind of pointed out and pointed at you guys and is talking to you, takes this case off of his hip, and he sets it down and opens it up.
The lead gargoyle is one of the ones in the power armor.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. So he grabs this thing. It kind of looks like a face hugger, but made out of metal.
Mm-hmm.
And then he roughly grabs you and puts it on your head.
I said I light on fire immediately.
You are?
Oh yeah, I turn on fire right as soon as he tries to put the thing on my face.
Okay, they're going to open up on you then.
I mean, what do you think? I wouldn't stand.
They're pointing guns at you. They're going to put you in handcuffs, essentially. That's what they're doing.
They're very big. I'll succumb.
All right. Kind of grabs you forward and puts that thing on your head. It unravels.
I forget about my armor being mega damage automatically. So I don't think about that.
So it unravels down the back of your head, to the base of your spine. So it's looks like it's clasped on top of your head, and a little glowy light appears right there, and you hear this buzzing sound that's kind of behind your ears, and you feel that you are no longer able to use your powers.
I figured.
Out of the case, he pulls two collars with large sections of them with little glowy lights and puts them on you and Shani. Once they lock in, the lights turn on. So,
It's all you now, buddy.
They start walking you to the quarry.
To the quarry?
Mm-hmm.
Technically, if anything, it's Shani that could still do something.
Yeah. There's literally nothing I can do now. I'm a regular old human. 22-year-old, not very well fed. So that's about it.
The walk there is, assuming you're not going to try anything at this point, you get led in through one of those tunnels.
I'm not handcuffed at all.
No, you're not restrained in any other way.
I'm going to feel at it then, because I have some engineering knowledge. So
you're starting to you give it some pokes and this and that. And you're trying to get how does this attach? Get a feel for when you're going to invariably try to get this thing off of you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you a roll in a minute.
Okay.
So you go through one of those tunnels like you had been going through before. That's carved into one of the tiers of the quarry. And you quickly realize what these things are for once you've walked through one for 10 minutes and you reach the end of it. It's a reservoir, it's supposed to drain off water that raises in this quarry, and they'll go down these tunnels and pour down into a reservoir.
Yeah.
So it's for water control for the lake that forms in the quarry. So
in other words, the water falls on the quarry face and goes into the tube rather than into the lake.
Yeah, so if it's raining, the quarry starts filling up, and they have tubes at different levels.
Oh, I see.
So they can maintain whatever level they want of the lake.
I misunderstood. I thought you were trying to say it was taking the water away.
No. This is just
that makes more sense. Yeah. Okay.
So and you've seen that the lake was pretty low. You saw a lot of these. So who knows what's going on with that? But past where the tunnel ends and the reservoir drop off is there, the cave changes. It looks like it's been blasted out and formed. You don't know exactly by what, but now it's more rough, squared off passage. It's definitely not the cored out reservoir passage. And they walk you through this tunnel for a while until you start hearing the sounds of industry and a hum going through the entire cave. The tunnel, and you emerge into a Gargoyle city factory. So below you is a massive foundry floor with hydraulic hammers and presses. There's forges. There's forming lines. They're busy building armors and weapons and all kinds of stuff down there. Just to your right, as you kind of come into this large chamber, you see a whole bunch of buildings and other shacks and structures that seem to be a support. There's a lot of cabling coming out of them, and you see some Tesla coil style conduits in there. So that might be where power and electricity and whatever else is coming from. Mm-hmm. On the opposite side, raised up because the foundry is kind of below you. You're on a ledge walkway now. Formed into the cave walls are Gothic structure facings, and you see gargoyles moving in and out of there. So it looks like they've made that their home, and they've kind of just shaped it right out of the stone. And then to the left, down, you see these big water tubes, essentially, big tubing coming out with massive wheels and to close in or off, and those tubes go to smaller tubes and piping that goes all over. Looking at the roof and looking at the walls, there are pipes and wiring and cabling all over, in big chunks, going down the walls into the cave entrances, into everywhere, coming from the power plant area and that big tube area down to the left. A gargoyle comes up and takes over. So the gargoyles are 10 feet tall, no wings. This one he's missing his left hand, and instead there's like multiple tendrils that come out, and they're all arcing electricity, and they seem to be able to move upon his command. They're like articulate whips.
How long are they?
They're about 15 feet long. Looks like they can retract.
There's like 3 or 4 of them that are 15 feet long.
Yes. Yeah. He keeps them kind of like curled up, and you can whip them out and go around with them. And he also has a weapon at his side. He's wearing armor, just plate armor. Like, it's not powered. He walks up. A couple other gargoyles come up. They hand over the bundle of your equipment to that people, of all your equipment. They quickly open it up and rifle through it, say something in Gargoyle, which you don't understand. And then they take that off. And it looks like they're taking that off on the ledge you're on, which is fairly wide. There's several caves or tunnel entrances and caves there. They take it down one of those. And you definitely make note of where that is, because you're going to want to get that back.
I want my stuff back.
I don't have anything good. I'm just kidding. It's like your notes for mine are just stops here. It's all empty. Yours is like completely full of equipment.
You got that thing on your head, which was like, now I'm just an old person. Like, you take all his grenade launchers away from him. He's like, now I'm just a big dog. So they take you down past some of these tunnels, and then they duck into one of these tunnels. One thing you're starting to notice, and you noticed walking into this place and walking around now through these tunnels, which are just a spider web, and they turn left and turn right, and you quickly lose track. But one thing you notice on your collars and your headgear is that the light fluctuates. It gets dim, and then it brightens up, and then it gets dim, and it brightens up. And you realize that is happening when you get nearest these hubs that are bolted onto the wall where the cabling goes into. When you're closest to those, it's brightest. And the further you get away or around corners, it starts to dim. These hubs seem to be transferring power or broadcasting a signal or power somehow that
Can I tell if those hubs are like magic or not?
They are not.
Okay.
And he doesn't have any. He doesn't have any exterior headgear stuff, does he?
He does not. No. Shani and Beethoven. Yeah. No, Shani and Beethoven got collars.
I'm the only one with the headgear.
You're the only one with the headgear.
Gotcha.
It's because your teeth are fucked up.
Wow. That's
I was on the run a lot. I had to eat what I could. Sometimes it was dirt.
You start to see
your teeth box.
You get to a place where you're starting to hear noises now, and you even see a mine cart go by of its own volition. You smell magic on that. It's being powered by magic. But it rolls by, and it's just filled with stone. Just nothing really exciting seems to be in there. And then you turn a corner to a larger, opened-up room. A little section, I should say. And you've seen some of these through the other hallways and things like that, but you weren't brought into one yet. And then there's just probably about 50 people, mostly humans, all with collars or those things on their head. They're hammering away at stone. Some are in a crevice with pickaxes. It looks like they're just slaving away, breaking this stuff up. And you guys get a quick lash of the electro whip from your gargoyle guide. And he points where the tools are.
Would my lack of sonic ability also reduce my resistances to electric and laser and things like that? No. So he whips me, but I'm not going to let on to him. Like,
yeah, that didn't hurt. Yeah. You take half damage from electricity, right?
I think it's electricity. I take. Oh, it's plasma. I take nothing. Yeah, half damage from lasers, electricity, and lightning. Yeah.
So I mean, it zaps, but this is meant to just, hey, this this is what's going to happen.
If it's like cattle roast. In other words, it's like, I'm very lightly prodded.
Right. And points at tools and tells you to get to work. Yikes.
So, when I was feeling on my headset and things like that, did I find any kind of weakness, or do I understand how it's applied? Is it screwed on? Is it magically latched on?
He can tell you that yours is magical.
My head...
Your headgear is magical. And between you feeling at it, like it's latched on magically somehow. Mm-hmm. But you looking at all the collars and everyone, like, and on his head thing, you can tell that these are explosive shape charges, like they're in there.
Is the head thing also explosive?
Yeah. So you have like your charges in the head up here, their charges on the collar right there.
And I don't have a collar on, or I have a collar on?
You do not have a collar.
It's one or the other. Okay.
Yeah, it's one or the other.
So more or less, like, if any of us try to remove it, it'll probably explode.
That would be one of the parts about it.
Yeah.
So, are we in a position while we're working, can we talk?
Yes.
We can converse or whatever. So, I would ask you right away, like, are the other people's head huggers magically charged?
And that, if those several people that you see with that type of headgear, they're all magical.
They're all magic. Can I move about while I work?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So, I guess I'd like to go... I'm upset about this headset thing, so I would probably move next to somebody that also has a headset to kind of get like the back view of it. You know what I mean? Like I want to see what it looks like from the reverse.
All right, you move up behind this woman who's working away. She's got one of the headgears on, and she turns around and introduces herself. Says, "I'm Cam Marie."
Iggy. This is Beethoven. And Shani.
KAM MI-RI.
Like, so that's all one word?
Like
no.
Kylo Ren is a Ken.
KAM is her first name, and MI-RI is her last name.
Okay.
Cam Miri.
Got it.
She goes, are you from the castle?
Are we from the castle? We are actually from the castle, right?
Yeah, I mean, you were sent out to discover what was going on with these towns that weren't being...
Well, I mean, like, do we want to tell her we're from the
With these
castle?
people, I don't think it's going to hurt us to be from the castle.
Then, yeah, we're from the castle then. Right.
Did you get a message out? Do they know?
No. We got caught pretty quick.
We kind of suck.
We had some poor rolls.
Well,
I don't know what the hell is going on.
Right.
My notice was like, no,
No, that way.
go over that way.
You see a lot of colors. Some of them are pretty.
So
I guess my first question would be like, hey, what does your helmet limit?
Oh, everything.
No. What is it that you can do without your helmet on? Like, I like.
I'm a techno wizard.
You're a techno wizard. All right, cool. So
yeah, and then these are TW devices. So
I knew it. I fucking knew it. Well, I wouldn't. My character wouldn't know it, but yeah.
Interestingly enough, though, they are powered in the same manner as the collars. If you want to know more, we're gonna have a break coming up. We can fill you in on what we know.
Sounds good. I am decent at chopping ore. They do have a break after, like, pretty much you've cleared out a section of rock, broken it all down to the size that they want, loaded it all up into the carts, and they basically, the gargoyles, there's two. There's whip arm, and there's one other gargoyle that's just in regular armor.
Whip arm.
And he has a shock baton.
Dash arm, perfect. Yeah. His maiden name was Wheat Parm, but
You label him asshole.
The other one just has a shock baton, and he just generally spends his time leaning up against the wall. The only other thing you've seen since you've been put into this section are gargoyle lights, which are little 3-foot tall gargoyles. And they run to and fro and bring stuff to the...
Oh, I thought you meant like gargoyle lights.
No, yeah. Lytes.
Gotcha.
Gargoyle lights. They're like little 3-foot tall.
That makes perfect sense.
They're kind of impish looking. But they run in and they grab stuff. They bring like food or stuff to the guards.
Gotcha.
They brought your meals. Like just bring sacks of something and they throw it down, and all of the people around you just gather in a circle around it, open up the bags.
They're lucky that they're not my meal.
Soon enough. So these are just...
A dog will eat anything first time. I don't know.
Yeah. Try anything twice.
You don't know exactly what it is. It's some type of bread, maybe. It seems a little bit moist, though.
Oh, it's loaf.
Yeah, it's something loaf.
Not steak fingers.
Grainy and horrible. But everyone gets together.
It tastes like dog food. You're probably wagging your tail.
A group of folk specifically sit with you. Like, sit down and, like, start talking.
Like Cam Murray's probably brought, her people.
Cam has definitely brought over a group of folks just to talk to you.
Yeah. Not to mention that, I went right up and was like, hey.
Right. So you have several people in front of you, a stout, bearded, older gentleman, weathered face. You have an alien, a DB of some type. He has kind of grayish blue skin. He's very, very stout and wide, bald.
Is this the same guy you're talking about?
No, different
guy.
The bearded guy is this. The other one's like a hairless alien with just a big, wide mouth, like an underbite, black eyes, bald head, grayish blue skin. Kind of like, a Thanos-looking kind of guy, but squatter and wider. A young girl.
So less Josh Brolin, more Danny DeVito.
Yeah. Except for more powerfully built.
Okay.
Yeah.
Young Danny DeVito.
A fairly young girl.
Like Sylvester Stallone. He's short and stocky.
And stocky? Adrian.
He keeps saying this word, Adrian.
Roger got one rule. Don't deal with people. Come on, just let Yandu back in. Only one rule. It's a perfect Sylvester Stallone impersonation for everyone.
There's another woman that has no eyes. There's nothing there where her eyes would have been.
Before that, you said there's a young girl.
We Adrian'd over the young girl.
Oh, yeah, there's a young girl that nothing besides
collar
that caught on. I mean,
just is she wearing a collar or a head?
Collar.
Okay.
Then there's a woman with no eyes. And then there's another gentleman, again, older, thinner beard, he's not as old as the first guy. The first guy has the big Santa beard. This guy just has a normal beard.
Are all these people in collars besides Cam?
Cam has a collar, and the woman with no eyes has Cam has a headgear, and the woman with no eyes has headgear.
So there's only two people with bad teeth like you.
And there's a couple others throughout this group, but the large bearded man is the first to speak to you. And he introduces himself as A. McCog.
Yeah, write that one down. Let's see what you got.
I want you to guess of how to spell I.
Say his name again.
I. McCog.
I. McCog.
I am.
With the probably E-M-E-I.
A-E-M.
A-O-D-H.
A-O-D-H.
M-A-C-C-O-G. I. McCog.
M-A-C...
C-O-G.
It seriously said I'm a cock the first time.
I'm a cock.
C-O-G.
That's why I was like,
cog.
Write it down.
Like a cog in a wheel. Or a machine.
What's this guy's story?
I. McCog was the Shearton's quarry foreman. So he used to be the foreman of the quarry in the town you were just at.
So he's just a cog in the machine.
He's just a cog in the machine.
I'm a cog.
Write that down. It's probably important later.
The stout alien lantern-jawed creature is named Dub. D-U-B.
Beach All Stars or
Dub Beach All Stars.
The Long
Dub
Beach
Smash.
Long Beach Dub.
Then you know Camry, Miri. The young girl is named Faith. The one with no eyes is Orania.
O-R-E-N.
Ourania.
Ourania.
And the last gentleman is Zvanko.
Yeah.
ZV.
Barnacle with ZV.
ZVONKO.
CVONKO. God damn it.
He used to be the demolitions handler for A.
You should have just written them down as you heard them and then just called them that.
Just called him whatever mistaken thing you've written down.
Well, I'm talking to that dude Svetlana.
And they tell you what's been going on. The Gargoyles swept in to both towns. Mid-Peak is the mining town on one side of the mountain, and Sheerton is the quarry town on the other. They swept in force, power armors, all that stuff. Rounded up most of the townsfolk, leaving just enough behind of the old and infirm or the too young to placate people and lure anyone in that might come to help, and essentially told them that if they tried to leave, if they tried to tell anyone, their families would die up here in the mountain. And that's what they've been doing for the last couple months. This is what they've been doing for the last couple months. The Gargoyles have been full-bore industry, making some type of... They convert stone into a material that they can use and forge like metal. And they've been pumping out weapons, armor, gear for themselves and Broadkill.
So they're making an army of some kind. It's like...
They're outfitting an army here.
This is what Castle... what was the name
Refuge.
Castle Refuge was worried about this. This is exactly what they said.
This is exactly kind of the information that we need to get to Castle Refuge.
All right. So, is there a hub in this room that's powering this
Yes.
stuff? And you said you smell that it's not magic.
It is not magic.
So that means if it's not magic, that we don't need magic to make it, like, take it apart. We might be able to sabotage these.
Yeah. A and Zvanko say these collars, if the power goes out, they don't go off. In fact, it completely disables them. They apparently were joking.
Oh, they don't go off like they don't explode.
They don't explode.
They don't go off like they don't turn off. And I was like,
that's
shit.
what I thought.
So if
If
there's no power, nothing goes off. They actually they were joking about losing the entire crop of slaves when they had a blackout at one mine once. So if we can disable that hub or get far enough away from it, these collars will come on. They'll turn off. But of course, the moment we get back in range, back on they go.
What are the chances that I can kind of reverse engineer them a little bit if I look at them, if I get up on top? Am I going to be able to like touch it and play with it, or is that something I'll get whipped for?
You'll get whipped if you're actively seen doing that.
Well, that's probably still the first thing I want to do later.
Yeah.
Other than, can we trace has anybody tried, I should, I guess, ask the group of this, has anybody tried tracing these tubes and pipes and things to a power source? Do we know what's powering this?
It's in the back of the forge area. They have some generator back there, though most of their power comes from the reservoir. They've pressurized it heavily, and they use it to power all their hydraulics and probably their generators.
If I can get this thing off my head, I can fuck that up. I can steam that pressure immediately. They'll either
Zvanko
overload
says,
or underload.
Yeah, Zvanko says, I've seen pressure cap. Not many safety. Gargoyle's not known for that. That whole forge fill up hour 2 max.
That's exactly what I need. So there's the destruction point for me to hit, but we're gonna have to take these things off.
Says there's also somewhere in here a line to the antenna, which is on the top of the mountain. And that antenna has enough broadcasting power to get to Castle Refuge.
Yeah.
And that's when Cam says if she can find the line that goes to it, if she could get some parts of something, she can whip up a techno-wizard device to send out a signal.
If her head thing is removed.
Correct. Or off. If it's off, you can do that. So the two things is, either turn powered down or taken off.
So I would like to try to do both. Because getting information to Castle Refuge will send troops out here immediately. But that weakens Castle Refuge. That was kind of the point. They didn't want to send everybody out to check in the first place. Because they're spread thin due to attacks. So if we could tell them the army's here and kind of disable it temporarily, I think that's the best idea. Which, in other words, if we can get Cam the pieces that she needs, and we can get me downstairs and then get our things disabled, we can wreck their production for, at least temporarily, and get the word out. But it all revolves around getting this thing off my head and off Cam's head.
So this is when Shani speaks up. Well, when I had my episode and my abilities left me, apparently it was still gone enough that when that Gargoyle cast Detect Arcana, I didn't show up as magical. So I'm not wearing one of those.
Damn it.
And she's like...
The answers are obvious.
And my tattoos are coming back.
All right. So what does she have that might... I don't know. Yeah, fuck. What do you have that might help us here?
She has super strength.
Yeah, strength.
So she could pop the collars if the power is off.
Yeah.
She has strength, she has flying.
She has wings. Armor. Bolt.
Weapons, right?
Knowledge. Sword. Speak any language. Sword.
I was going to say, I didn't remember her language.
And then she's like, and this thing seems to be just about ready, and she pulls off the wrappings around her new tattoo.
It's a dick butt?
It's a total dick butt. It's like, she's like, it distracts anyone that sees it.
What does it do? She slaps it and makes fart noises real loud, like echoey fart sounds.
Damn it.
I can touch it and then touch anything else, and a dick butt will appear there permanently.
Perfect.
No, it is a woman in a veil, kind of veiled over, and she has her hands crossed in front of her, and basically from her waist down and her hands are negative space. They're not filled in with tattoo. So it looks like you're looking through her where her hands are. And so you can see the person around it, but all of a sudden it's just nothing there.
So this is,
and she says...
Is it cloaking?
It's invisibility.
Well...
No, I don't get advertising money. Though they show ads on my stream.
That's what we found out last week.
Yeah. My buddy Galen is watching.
Yeah, so we're going to have to figure out... Because we can use the invisibility, obviously, to sneak around. That's not a big deal. But we're going to either need a distraction so they don't notice that she's gone, or do it when we're supposed to be resting. With the end game of at least getting our head stuff off. Because the explosion collars suck. But if you get our head things off, we can wreak a lot of damage before we get the actual power done. If that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The one we have to power down your guys' necklaces so that we can save you. But we can't do that with our headgear on. And
the thing, there is an overwhelming amount of force here. There are so many gargoyles and power armors with heavy weaponry that if there's too much alarm, if there's too much shakeup, they could just level this entire place.
So then, fucking up the power through pressure loss is not the best idea.
It should be you should already have an escape plan is really what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
You need an escape plan, and you need your plan needs to be quick.
All right.
So whatever things you put in place.
So we kind of know how we're going to damage and get the word out. We know who we need to get it done. We have someone that can walk around invisibly. So
and she can walk around invisibly. She can get collars off if they're powered down, and you can too. If the collar's powered down and you get your powers, you could just melt latches and pop collars off.
Well, in my mind, I can't do anything until my mind is free. So I'm
that's
useless until that's happened. I mean, I have some engineering knowledge, but like you said, unless it's powers on, would I be able to like break them free?
Oh yeah.
So even without my powers,
though, no,
the powers off, I wouldn't be able to.
Powers off, you wouldn't be able to do it.
No screwdrivers, not.
Unless you had tools. If you had tools, you could roll, but you don't have tools.
All right. So
she can move invisibly. Otherwise, you need to figure out some other way, which there might be something else coming up here soon. But
what do you think, Taj?
You kind of know what's going on right now.
What kind of tool or whatever are they giving us to do our actual work? Like
hammers, picks, and pikes. So I'll go ahead and explain, like, we can go back to this and talk it over, but I'll explain what happens next, because the process might add more information for you.
So break is over now.
So break is over, but you'll have another break and we can continue talking. So what happens is you've cleared out like this section. It looks like it's a big squared off section in this room, just completely square, cleared out. What they do is the gargoyle, the not whip arm, grabs this launcher. It looks like just a big muzzled, barreled like a net launcher or a rocket launcher, and then there's these bundles which look like netting, like it's a net launcher, and it loads it up in there, and it lines it up on the next section of wall down from that open area, and he hits the trigger, and this big rectangular net whoosh, snaps up there. At every intersection, well, to you guys, it's about this big. There's a little like mine-looking thing. Just dozens of them. And the netting then incinerates. It is a highly flammable chemical compound which scores the rock. Then each of those little individual mines detonates a powerful shaped charge into the rock, which essentially just smashes that entire wall into big rectangles. At which point, some parts of them break down already and start falling off. But at that point, the people with the pikes, which have hooks on them, start snapping up at the highest ones and pulling rock down. And then once the rock is on the ground, you guys start smashing at it and hammering at it. And that's how this operation goes. So score, detonate, starting to pull out rock, smashing it down, putting in the thing. And as you go through the rectangles, you load up the carts and mine it off, and then get in there with any jagged pieces that are left.
How long has it been from his first blast to his second blast? How long did it take us as a crew to pull those rocks down and chop everything up?
Oh, it takes they say they go about. You'll see that twice a day.
Okay, so it's
once
not
in the morning,
it's not
once in the afternoon.
regularly. We're not.
But over where the little gargoyles are hanging out, you see more of those bundles are just stacked there. Those netting bundles, and each an individual one of those, if you can pop it off the net, that's a powerful enough explosion to punch through a gargoyle in his chest or armor, or take out one of those conduits. If you could get to it.
Mm-hmm. So the netting balls are laid out. They're
just like these.
They're sitting on the ground, kind of in the room with us.
Yeah, they're back in a corner with the rest of the gargoyles stuff.
All right.
And there's this big, wrapped up netting bundles.
So we're in a tube right now. We're in a tunnel.
It's opened up. It's more open area, but you're at the end of a tunnel that's opening up to a room that you are now just systematically
busting a room in.
Yeah, busting out.
How far is it to the? The last room. Is there some place where we sleep, or have we gotten there
yet? You haven't gotten there yet, but the rest of the people will tell you. They take you all the way back, right outside the forge. One of the first areas that was cleared out is where you guys rest. And every time they bring you guys back here, or back into it, they don't necessarily go to the same place twice, and they will take different routes to try to confuse you. But Faith says she's never lost. Gotcha. She memorizes the ways in and out.
Wouldn't he be good at that too?
Yes.
And say that you would probably know where you're at. You've got a pretty good feel for the place.
He could scent it out.
That's a good point. Yeah. All right, so we know where the exit is. We know where explosives are. Does it seem like Shani might be able to sneak away?
There's enough people here that, and the gargoyles don't like the one. Whip Arm likes being cruel. He likes whipping people and looking over people, and the other one doesn't seem to care at all about what's going on. But it doesn't look like they know you individually or care that much about you to realize if one of you were gone for a little bit.
All right. Well, what do you think we should send Shani off to look at her? We can talk to her, obviously. Mm-hmm. Shani. So, what? Talk to Shani? Never. I don't know. What would you send somebody off to look for? Because she turns invisible. I have this question about invisibility, I guess. She can turn invisible. Is it she making things that she's making physical contact with invisible, or should stick it under her shirt? Could she hold something and run around with it and it would be invisible too?
It depends on how big it is and what it's doing.
Is the netting ball small enough for her to turn invisible?
Remembering that the gargoyles themselves, or the gargoyles are 10 feet tall, 10 to 12 feet tall. So the netting, cartridge itself is, this to you.
Gotcha.
But one of those individual limpet mines, or whatever you want to, one of those little individual charges that's on the netting could be popped off, and it's about this big.
And she would be able to walk around with that invisibly. Yeah. That's what I was getting at, I guess. So those net cartridges are a lot bigger.
Yeah. Everything, anytime I say that there's anything in here that would be normal sized, remember that it's 2 to 3 times its size because it's all gargoyle level.
Gotcha.
That's why they looked at your gear and didn't care, because none of them can use it. None of the broadkill could use it either.
They wouldn't even be able to put their bullets in, right?
Yeah. They couldn't put their fingers into that thing.
All right. What do you think?
So what's our possible plan right now?
Well, we have a way to disrupt power, which would be that they're using hydroelectric power, which is done by motion and pressure. So the water is pressurized either through gravity or some other method, and it's pushed through a turbine. The turbine spinning is what's causing power. I can 100% fuck that up, because I can turn that water into steam immediately, which will either raise the pressure to a dangerous level and mess everything up permanently, or the steam will pass through quicker, they'll get a nice surge of power, and then the loss of water will create a dent for a couple of seconds.
And also from what Zvanko tells you, that,
the safety's
again,
not good.
They've just pressurized that thing, and there's a huge reservoir. If you put a hole in it, down at the cap, it will release into the forge chamber and drown essentially the entire place.
We can poke holes with the explosives if we want to.
Yeah. Or I can you can melt it. That's in just to throw this out there. You don't necessarily need to do all of these things, and just saying they are all options that have been brought up to you. And,
so he's asking me for options, so I'm telling him. So the other one would be, we can call for support if we can get a message out to that antenna. But the only problem with that is that that's going to create a war, right here.
Well, for that you need parts, and you need Cam to have her call her off. Well, yeah, and if you can do that without raising suspicion somehow, well, you also need to find where that line is, and that line goes from Mid Peak, which is the mining town, into the mine, up to the antenna through the main chamber. So it's not coming through where you guys are here. You'll have to get to the main chamber, find which cable is the antenna, and get her access to it.
And then the only exit we've seen so far is where we go in and out at the end of the night.
And that just exits the main chamber. Though Faith says she knows these mines in and out. Mm-hmm. She can get you, like, if it comes down to it, she can lead everyone out through a tunnel at the quarry or back to Mid-Peak.
So really, the idea is that if we're gonna do the aggressive version of it, we only have to take out the 2 gargoyles here and some gargoyle, and then dash, basically. But as soon as we raise too much suspicion, we're wasted.
Right.
That's the issue.
And even if you get these people out, if you don't have someone there to rescue them, then they just go back to their town and wait for these power armored gargoyles to fly down and kill everybody.
I'm not too worried about them. No, I'm just kidding. Faith is a child, right?
Faith is young. She's like 14, 15.
That's fine. That's a child. I have to be careful with that. Not because I'm a pedophile, but because I'm afraid to burn children. Sorry, that came up there. In case you haven't watched any of the other episodes, better be careful around them 14-year-olds.
He has a drawback, a flaw, that he is especially careful and considerate of child safety and children.
I'm powerful enough that I might injure my friends, which I've done in the past. So I'm not willing to risk it around children.
The first session I had, I was wearing a shirt that blended in exactly with the green screen, so I just looked like a floating head, and these guys weren't having it. They're like, "You gotta not do that ever again." He says I should move your guys' camera down and just be a floating head above you. It'd be weird. Dance puppets.
You would have to remember to talk to us like this and never make eye contact.
Yeah. I'm just looking out my crotch the entire game.
Every time I ask a question, so what kind of security system are we talking about right now?
That'd be hilarious. So yeah, you've got those options, and any other options you want to explore or talk about, let me know.
So we have some basics there, but a lot of these plans all hinge on a couple of things. For most of them to be successful, we got to get these helmets off at least, because your stuff can be powered down. These will be powered down too, I guess.
Yeah.
But I can't help even a little bit. I'm pretty much just here to break rocks until that shit's off. Shani's on. I can't really do anything. You can still smell and detect your magic, but I literally can't do anything.
So this hub that we know about, that's what we know is powering.
Yes.
Collars and headgear.
I guess you get a little bit more background about that. A. McCog and Dub and Zvonko all talk about it. You're in this mountain specifically is called the Trammel Mountain. And for some reason, who knows, it got instilled by something, rifts, the apocalypse, whatever happened, it messes with communication. It blocks things. It's not good for that. Even stuff that should pass right through rock, signals and all that kind of things, just don't pass through this mountain.
So it's like blue granite because it has 4 times the...
It would make some great curling stones. So
the impact resistance is 4 times greater than normal granite.
So that's why they need to put these hubs. And every time they start opening up a new room, they have to run more wiring and throw up another hub to keep this power going to these collars of the slave labor. So if you can get far enough away, get around corners, get something to block in this area, and get out of line of sight of one of these things, you can get these collars off. But that really doesn't help you because you go right back. And they can... I guess I should say this too. Both of them have ARM computers, which have all of your collars. It has all... Yeah. They can hit individual ones. They can hit one to detonate them all. And they can even say, we've had people run thinking that they can get out before, and they click it, And the moment that caller gets back into any signal range, it just goes off.
Gotcha.
So, like, if you escape thinking you can get away, you better get away without ever coming back into contact with signal again, because it'll auto-detonate when you get back.
Gotcha. So that they're coming down with a new style, and you know it's Buck Wild.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Buck Wild!
Click, click, boom. That's what that.
But if we could do...
Click, click, boom.
I thought about that right. If we can do something that hub that
the radio play
near, right? Like if we can power down the hub that we're close to, we get all this shit off of us. Maybe.
If we
we can, because if it's powered down, it's no longer blocking your abilities.
I'll be able to take mine right off,
right.
and then
so he could just start like melting latches,
and she can
and Shani
super strength and start busting things up.
Mm-hmm. So the problem with that is though that we need to have our plan in place before we do that,
right?
Because as soon as that happens, we start alerting immediately.
Yeah, well, this is clearly a multi-process type plan.
I think the first step should be securing one of those explosives, because if you
you should secure the explosive when you're ready, because if he launches a net up and he notices one missing,
that's a good,
he might not take too kindly to that. Even if he notices, he doesn't seem the most perceptive of gargoyles.
I just have to be a he. There's no female gargoyle workers.
Neither of them seem to be female, but you've never really seen female, so they might be. Maybe you're using the wrong pronoun. You gonna ask him?
Excuse me, it. Are you he or is she?
Excuse me, it.
No, they do not seem to be female.
What would a pronoun be for him or her? No matter shim, I guess.
It's the singular they.
It's like Latinx.
So, what you can talk freely amongst
I know
the other folk and get information.
I'm trying to think of at least a basic something to suggest that we can build off of.
So I guess
we're building an order now. We know that we can destroy a hub with the explosives and take everything off. Our next move needs to be the quick ones. So if we want, we can have Carrie boost the signal, but we need pieces before we do that.
Well, one thing I think you're forgetting most important of all, is the two gargoyles in the room.
Yeah.
Even without that hub, they can bounce the signal back down the walls from their armors. So if you take out the hub and they notice, they need to be the next thing that goes.
Well, if the hub goes out, I got this. I'm just kidding. How long would it take me to walk around and snap necklaces?
It would take... You have to be careful because, these are on people. It would take... You could do 2 a turn.
Okay. So what if we... We could... No, seriously, listen. So if we could make this look like an accident, like if we could break one of these things, I could mess my helmet up. Would they notice, when the power came back on, that my helmet's not projecting to their arm pad anymore? Or would that be... If
you mess it up and the light doesn't come back on,
they'll be like, oh, that one's not working. Yeah, so I can't just walk around
now,
clearly.
Remember that when the power goes off, you don't need to take them off. You get your abilities back. So you can take care of the gargoyles before you start taking off helmets and stuff.
I have another good idea, too. We could also sabotage the power source. I can mess my helmet up, and Techno Wizard can make me a tool to make my helmet look like it's still working. Why does it look like a dick? Or we can, gargoyles. You don't have your weapons, but could Techno Wizard Girl make him a weapon?
She needs parts.
Oh,
she has no parts.
He also can't handle.
And he can't use any
That's right.
Techno Wizard weaponry.
Probably can use...
Not if it's built by Techno Wizard. That was the issue.
I mean, you can attack with your tools.
I was like, I can use a hammer
and these pikes. Like he's 8 to 10 feet tall himself. He's on par with the gargoyle.
Yeah, but he's fucking 10 play.
Yeah, you won't. They're wearing quite possibly armor that may not be damaged by those tools. You can't really tell if it's mega damage capacity or not. You could call a shot though into their faces or the exposed bits.
Regardless, if we destroy the hub or sabotage it, whatever, get the power down to where none of the collars, none of the headgear is working, he can most likely kill the gargoyles with his powers.
If he can get it done in 2 turns, if you can kill both of them, basically 1 a turn, that would probably be enough surprise, unless you have some other thing going on or some other way to do it. But you'd have to drop them. Like, if you didn't kill 1, you'd get a signal out by turn 3. Just like to let you know that. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, you can also set up other things to go wrong for the gargoyles.
See, that's what I'm wondering. Like, what else?
Shani suggests that those shape charges stick to anything, and if she's invisible,
then it would only take a little manipulation for me to blow their asses off.
Yeah, if she can get them on the backs of their armor.
And then, so let's say...
So can she get multiple of those, possibly?
Yeah, she could pull a couple.
So let's say if this happens, she gets the 2 charges and plants them on 2 gargoyles that we have in this. We blow them up, they're dead. And then we're kind of free to sabotage the hub at that point. How long will we have before people are
How would you set off the explosives?
I would set them on fire.
So you have to have the hub off to do that.
Okay, so the hub's off. We'd kill these 2 things. What kind of return time are we thinking about? Like, are people going to notice, like, hey, one of the hubs is down and Gregor's not responding? How long is that going to take?
You don't know, and they don't know the infrastructure of, like, if this hub stops responding, do they come, and how long does it take? But from you guys messing with that sensor outside, you know that when that sensor was knocked out by you guys, it was about just under 10 minutes for them to send out a worker crew to go.
Okay.
Other than that, there's the gargoyle lights that run in and out. You'd have to keep killing them, not let any of them get back.
Or I could just obscure the area. But then nobody would be able to see. Like, I could make it look like an accident, but as soon as the smoke cleared, everybody would come back in and be like, oh, that wasn't an accident at all.
Yeah.
Don't roll your eyes.
They're not rolling eyes. There's just a lot to think about right now.
Well, we don't have to get it all done at once.
Gargoyles, G-U-R-G-O-Y-L-E. So there's gargoyles, which are the big 16-foot tall, winged, stone-skinned gargoyles.
Are you explaining this
I'm explaining this to someone who is asking if I'm saying girl goyles.
Oh, okay.
No, and then there's gargoyles, who are like a sub-race of gargoyles, who are 10 foot tall, no wings.
Then gargoylites. And
then the gargoylites are 3 foot tall, with wings, little, like, kind of impish version.
And then broadkill are similar in shape to a gargoyle, but of a different race entirely.
They're 10 feet tall, red-skinned, like muscled up. Like they look like demons.
Gotcha.
These guys look like stone. Broadkill look like demons. And you haven't seen any broadkill here. Mm-hmm. They've said that they only see broadkill come in to pick things up. It's not like any are stationed here or anything like that. All right.
So I think that the first thing I would suggest would be to get a list of parts from.
Well, it could be anything as long as it's parts. Like,
okay.
I mean, that's the wonders of technology.
So let's skip that then.
So if you could get the hub apart, like if you could turn that off, she's like, if that thing's off but intact, that's all the parts I need.
Okay.
Like,
the next thing we would need, so then I would like Shani, this is my original plan, would be like for Shani to turn invisible and see if she can't trace a signal out. Like, can't she find the wire that sends the signal?
Yeah, so the first thing is to find that wire.
Because that's going to ultimately be what the most success is, because even like you said, if we get these people out, they're going to need support. If shit goes to shit, we're going to need support.
Okay. So Cam explains to Shani what the wire is going to look like and where it's going to come from, where it's going to go, and she needs to be able to know that to identify it amongst all the other cabling. The other thing that's going on is Faith is explaining exactly how to get back to the forge area and back. You take a left, you take a right at this junction, you take a left. Like, she's literally explaining like left, left, right, so that she can get in and know how to get back.
Okay. So
she has to memorize that. If she doesn't come back, then that might be a problem.
Well, for her. No honor among
the other weird thing is, like, she has to stay within range of the power.
It would make sense,
because otherwise her light would wink off and they'd know. So, all right. So Shani is trying to memorize the path. That's a 10. She got that easily enough.
With a raise. She remembers where that girl's house is. Back at home.
Now she's like trying to hide the fact that she's about to turn invisible. You guys kind of get over top of her essentially, or block the view.
Start a distraction. Hey, Beethoven.
That'll get you both whipped.
I was like, I won't even.
You probably wouldn't even feel it.
Your punch would mean nothing.
I'd be like, ow, my fingers.
Ow.
How'd you hurt your hand? I don't want to talk about it.
So she, like, you kind of block her up and all that stuff. She touches that tattoo, invokes it, and she just fades out from view. And then
all of us go.
And all of you guys just get back to work.
Whistle while we work.
You pretty much work for the rest of the day, clearing out that next section.
Do we determine a time for her to come back?
I mean, obviously she needs to get back before, in the hours before you have to come back. Otherwise, she'll get lost and not be able to find you. So you're hoping, like, you may even, as she's not coming back and you're getting to the end, the word goes out to slow down a little bit, stall. But then eventually you feel a little, like, tug on your arm. So
we would have smelled it before she got there, right?
Yeah, that's true. You do smell a magic effect come into range of you, and she kind of puts you between the gargoyles and them, and comes back, and she's like, "I am fairly certain I have found the cable."
Sweet.
So I can, if I'm out there, I can identify it for Cam to look at.
All right. Does Cam have to be in a certain spot, or can she, like, splice wire?
She can splice, yeah.
Those Techno-Wizards fucking
right?
awesome.
Because Techno-Wizards are awesome?
Yeah.
Are you a little bitter?
No,
you make another Techno-Wizard?
I wanted to do something different. I'm doing something different. That was a lot of fun, but I'm not playing Cam. I know part of me is like, of course, you do whatever the fuck you want. Techno-Wizard is awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so she can do that from wherever she needs to be. So now we need to come up with an order to the chaos, because we need power down. She needs to build, or power down. Gargoyle destruction.
Gargoyle's dead.
Deconstruction, reconstruction of the device, and then escape if we don't want to power the facility down also. Which we don't have to do.
Yeah. You guys are taken back to the forge area, put into a large cave that has, like, one of the wizard-looking gargoyles comes up and literally, like, makes bars out of the stone, just reaches his hands up and goes like this, and the stone over the cave mouth forms bars that come down. So there's no door, there's no nothing. He just magically seals you into your cave with enough viewport to, like, look in and make sure you're still there. You're in there with your loaf for the night. There's just...
I'm like, I can't even toast it. I haven't eaten cold food in so long.
There's just piles of just stuff, like whatever these guys were allowed to take. So you're sleeping on backpacks and clothes and things like that. So...
Do we find anything of use?
No, they weren't allowed to take anything, that would be useful.
There's nothing... Okay, well... So there's nothing electronically, and we can't scrape enough wire and stuff together for Amy.
Yeah, pretty much it's just clothes and backpacks, and that's it.
So you probably walk around a couple circles and go see.
So now you can discuss, the order of things and all that. So
now we have another dilemma then, because our initial thing was we were going to blow up the power hub so that we could power everything down and then attack the gargoyles. But if we blow the thing up, it won't be usable for cam anymore.
Right. You'd have to find something else. And that's as easy as going to the next hub. If none of you have collars anymore, you wouldn't have to worry about it. Go to the next hub, pull that one down, and take it apart.
I see, but we'd have a couple minutes. We'd have a couple minutes to do this then. This is like Ocean's 11.
Yeah.
But...
And Cam is really nervous about the whole plan altogether. She wants to get the message out without...
go back to work.
Yeah, without anything being, out of the ordinary. But she doesn't know, how to do that.
How do you feel about that? How do you feel about alerting and waiting? Because that's what some of these people want to do. Mm-hmm. We don't necessarily have to assault everything like we usually do. Although I really want to assault.
Though, A says that essentially, if you can get the thing down, kill the gargoyles, get the thing down, and as you guys are getting out, essentially, before anyone realizes what's going on, Faith leads the people out through the quarry tunnels. While they're escaping, Cam sends the message, and you pop that cap and start flooding the forge. But he seems to be on the impression that Castle Refuge could get help here in time, that the gargoyles will be so distracted about their forge getting flooded.
I understand that, but that feels like a lot of time is put on me, because if you guys want to run after we create distraction, if any power goes back on, everyone's dead. That means that
No, you take the collars off before leaving the...
So we're going to have to clip... Yeah. The amount of time we have, I'm not going to be able to do that.
Yeah, this is the way, Shani kind of breaks it down. She'd steal two things.
Attach them to gargoyles.
Attach them to the gargoyles.
I set them on fire.
Then she goes over, disconnects the power conduit, turning off the thing. You blow up the two gargoyles. Then you and her start breaking everyone out.
Okay.
Once everyone's broken out, and what's your strength?
D. Not that much.
It's only a D8.
Yeah. Okay, you couldn't. Dub can as well. So Dub is strong enough to break collars. So the three of you can get everyone free in minutes.
Okay.
As long as you can stop gargoyle lights from seeing what's going on and escaping, then you guys can get through the tunnels and right to the forge, and that's when you can, you go that, the Faith takes the group to escape, and Cam goes to send the message.
So what if...
But you are terribly exposed at that point.
Yeah. So what if, as far as gargoyle lights are concerned, once I'm free, I should be able to set a wall of fire kind of in the tube. Can I do that?
Well, then they'd see a wall of fire and run back and tell someone about it.
I don't know how we're going to tell them. How are we going to distract them?
I'll just let them run in and cook them.
That's fine. So I just have to kill Gurglites.
You just have to kill Gurglites until...
This plan sounds awesome now. Next.
You've seen how the gargoyles treat the gargoylites. They're just
Yeah, they're fucked. Okay. So I wasn't thinking about Shani being able to pull the power cord on those things. So it sounds like we have our plan. She needs to steal her two explosives
and place them
on the gargoyle
without getting noticed.
And then as soon as that happens, basically, she needs to come over, pull the power. Once the power's off, I can just take I don't have to take it off.
You don't have to take it off.
I can snap it, I can melt it right off.
And you don't have to do that. It doesn't, if it's on your head with the power off, might as well be a helmet.
Once my armor turns on, that shit's gone anyway, yeah. So I'll be on fire. So, alright. Then what?
Then it's take everyone's collars off and then run and kill gargoylites. Then it's lead everyone through the caves, killing gargoylites.
Does Faith know where Mutt's stuff is kept?
Yep. So.
What's your middle name?
Beethoven.
Did you call me Mutt?
So at that point, you can go with Faith and the group, the mining group. Well, this is a question. Do you want to start the flooding to distract your escape, or do you want to hope that 50 plus odd people or 100 plus odd people can sneak out along that ledge and not be noticed by the entire Gargoyle town? Or you can go and get your guns with Faith together.
Don't you have some sort of charges?
You have C.
You have some C4, don't you?
C20.
Wouldn't he, if we went with him and we got that, couldn't we place that and then set it off at a later date, a later time?
Mm-hmm.
So, say we get that stuff, we set it, and then we, as we're leaving, set it off to create commotion behind us so that we can escape a little easier.
So, in this plan, you would free everyone, go through the tunnels, but not exit into the forge area. Leave everyone in a room beforehand.
Yeah.
You'd have to have someone there, and they're okay with it.
I'm going to have to be continuously killing gargoylites as they keep through.
and
every time someone comes out, just pickaxe.
Orania and Dub are completely okay with killing gargoylites.
What, you mean the rest of the team can do stuff too?
They'll wait there while you guys go get your gear, then sneak down to the pressure cap, the reservoir cap.
We don't have to sneak down to the pressure cap. Shani can do that herself.
Yeah. Now remember, you'd have to set a timer. You cannot do it by signal.
Oh, okay.
Because the rock blocks signal.
Fucking blue granite.
So you'd have to set a timer, which is fine.
Yeah, we can do that.
And then at what point during all this is Cam getting her message out?
I suppose
if we're gonna run off and be killing Gert, if he's gonna steal away with Faith, because I don't have any equipment to get back, do I?
Yeah, he can grab it all if you just want to send one.
So he can go with Faith because a smaller group's gonna be better. Plus, I love splitting up the party. We send Shani. We'll all wait for you to come back while we're kind of covering the rear. Cam will have time to set up her signal thing until he gets back.
Yeah.
When he gets back, Shani needs to take the explosive down to the cap for the reservoir, come back, and I think she should set the timer for how long it took her to get down there so that she can get back up, maybe double it so that she took her 10 minutes to get down there, takes 20 minutes to get back, and then we kind of serendipitously escape as it explodes. Then Michael Bay.
So the plan is great except for the waiting, because
it's the hardest part.
Right. Remember, you're disconnecting power to that conduit, and then you're taking it apart to give parts to Cam.
So we can't turn it back on.
That means that's going to register, and they're going to send a repair team.
Mm-hmm. The repair team.
You're going to have to kill that repair team at some point, but as you're going through, you're going to miss them, and they're going to get back there and alert someone, or you're going to find them, run into them through it, and you're going to have to kill them.
Once we take out the gargoyles, we'll have the rest of their charges to use as trapping. So once the repair crew goes in, we can have a whole net of those explosives ready to just cave that shit the fuck in.
You can't get a signal to it, though.
Oh, very fiery.
Well, you'd have to be there for it. Like,
I'm not going anywhere. In this plan, I'm not sneaking around anywhere.
You're staying back in the room where everyone was at?
Cam's going to go set the thing. I'm killing some Gargoylites. He's going to get an armor and coming back. Shani's going downstairs.
So you're all staying in the room where you're working?
We're staying wherever we can that everyone's the safest that we can escape the easiest. If it's Gargoylites keep coming into a spot where we're already hunkered down and covered, we can keep killing Gargoylites kind of indefinitely. When repair crew shows up, we can kill them too. We're already being hunkered down. We'll be ready to go. We'll have explosives on hand. Of course, it's going to run out of time in like 10 minutes, but then when we escape, everything else is ready to go. Like the explosive's about to go off. The tube is clear of Gargoylites. It's clear of repair crew. Faith will be back at that point. You'll have your weapons. We'll know exactly what we're doing.
Because Shani's like, yeah, if you kill the repair crew here and they don't get a signal back, then...
Yep.
Like the people that dispatch them have no idea what they're doing.
The C-12 makes it so that I don't have to bust that cap anymore. Yeah. C-20, whatever.
So, in this plan, you... I just want to make sure I got all this. You got it all right as the events unfold.
Yeah.
So you're in way deep in the mine in the room you're working in.
Yes.
So let's call it the workroom.
Yes.
So you're in the workroom. Shani goes invisible, pulls two things, plants them on gargoyles, unplugs power. You kill gargoyles.
Gargoyles, any Gargoylites that are around.
Then
meantime, Faith and he run immediately.
Faith and you get your collars off first thing. You're the first people to get collars off, and you start running. And you are trying to avoid gargoyle lights and repair team if you're going to run into it. So Faith is going to be dodging, weaving, watching, and you're going to have to keep your senses out for them because you can smell these things. They're all supernatural evil. So you guys are going to have to run through there and avoid all confrontation.
I got kicked out of the public pool for keeping my senses up.
Then you're going to stay in the room. Cam is going to cannibalize the relay. You're going to get everyone's collars off, kill gargoyle lights, and set up an ambush for the repair crew.
If need be.
And you know what the repair crew looks like. It's going to have a fully power-armored gargoyle.
It's fine. We're also going to have a lot more explosives than we did last time.
Yes.
So
with your demolition expert gone. Except for Svanko.
Svanko is
a demolition expert.
Even if it's not really, I don't need to be a demolition expert to just set the place on fucking fire. Like I know that won't necessarily work, but
no, if they're there, like that's fine. Yeah. As long as you kill them. Like you have to kill at least the power armor. Like I said, like within 2 to 3 turns. Otherwise, he gets a message out.
I've got a couple of bennies.
So, after... Now, if you don't do that, then plans change. But the plan is kill that team, keep hunkered down and wait. Faith and you go out, get all the gear, come back. Once you're all there and back, Shani suggests everyone starts to get moving. Because it's better if the group is ready to go the moment signal goes out and blasts start going off.
So when the signal starts going off, is that going to alert them as well? So then as soon as Cam's got that thing hooked up, she should be broadcasting immediately.
Well, she has to get it to the line, which is in the main forge room.
Okay.
So you have to come back and at least get her out to the main forge room.
What if she left? Oh, she can't leave with them because she's going to cannibalize that thing.
Yep. I mean, she could do it pretty fast. She can get enough parts to do it and send that signal out with them, but that means he is now watching a third person who is not nearly as stealthy as Faith and he is.
Faith can't bring the stuff back. It's probably too heavy for her to drag this
stuff
back.
She's not big enough for that.
Who else do we have on our team? What's that blue dude's story?
Dub.
Yeah.
He's big and strong, but...
You should go too, then.
Again, that's like another... He's not stealthy at all.
Do we have anybody that would be helpful to this team to send with, other than Cam?
I mean, really, you want as few people as possible to keep them stealthy to get the gear. Going is probably one of the better ideas to get that signal out before you start moving the whole group through and put the blasting caps
I'm still for that. You should take Cam with you.
You're just gonna...
Because you can leave... It sounds shitty, but like when you get to where she needs to be, if she can work kind of in silence, you can leave her and go get your stuff. We can separate the party into like 4 groups.
So everything can go wrong.
We have enough people finally. We can separate more.
So where am I taking Cam now?
Just to
Cam...
oh, sorry.
Where the wire is accessible, is inside the forge room, but it's more towards the front. So you're going to go out and go to the right, back towards where the quarry tunnels are. Mm-hmm. She will need to go left and kind of down this ledge and up on a wall where the cabling goes through for the antenna up on a mountaintop. So that's up to you if you want to, good luck to her and let her go off on her own, or you all go get your gear and you all go to the thing to send the signal and you all go back. I
could also just send Faith with her.
Yes, you can send Faith with her, and Faith can tell you where your gear is.
Well, plus you said earlier that I would have noted where they took our shit.
Once you're out into the forge room,
or your senses are keen enough too, you could probably, her instructions will make perfect. You're like, fine, left, right, left, right, left, right.
Yeah, once you're out in the forge room, back where you were brought in, you'll find where your gear is.
All right.
It is probably going to be guarded, so keep a weapon handy.
You don't? Yeah.
Keep a hammer.
Keep a hammer.
All right,
now,
what are these little?
You're going to get a shock maul and a laser pistol from the gargoyles, and they're your size.
I will probably take whatever these gargoyles have on them.
Yeah.
Part of me would almost be like, can we chop off whip arms and use that?
No. That's cybernetics.
I know.
I was say the techno wizard might be able to do something with it, but not for you.
Not for you. Yeah. So once you get out, you're going to let Faith take Cam to the hookup spot.
Well, because Cam want to know where it is, right?
She hasn't been.
Shani told her how to get there, but that you don't want someone that's.
But Faith knows her way around. She could take
Faith. Yeah.
And we said earlier that I noted which tunnel and whatever they took pretty much my gear in.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll be able, even if Faith is just like, yeah, make sure you go to this one. Like, yeah, I got it. And I'll.
Yes. So. But is that the plan? So you let Faith take Cam over to the hookup spot while you go get your gear.
You can't take them with you to the gear anyway, especially if it's going to be guarded. That won't make any sense. So.
Well, if it's guarded, you have a techno wizard with you with parts. She needs to keep enough parts left over to make that communication device, but she can help fight with some of it. She has probably 3 devices she can make.
Why don't you go with her to set up the signal and then take her with you to get your equipment?
And you signaling the signal, she even says, you sending out the signal since you came from there and you're one of the expeditionary teams.
That makes sense.
Yeah, might be better.
I guess, it would make more sense if we all 3 just kind of stick together.
Right.
Dang, we almost split the group into 3 parts.
This person's moving. I'm like, oh my god, catastrophic cascade failure. As one person screws up, this person, you guys are all separate.
It's always me. I'm like, split the party.
So I'll go over there.
Are there 2 options?
I'll get your gear.
Yeah.
All come back. Then you all go back up, and at that point, Shani just turns invisible and runs. Starts to go put the stuff out as you make your way through. Once you get there, you wait for the detonation. Once the place starts flooding, everyone goes out.
Yes, because if we alert before the explosion, then the attention will be turned on us even afterwards. Right. So we need the explosion to be the attention grabber, not the other part.
So just so I catch the end of this, so if all this other shit's successful,
right? Nothing goes sideways.
So we send out the signal. We get the gear. This is my party.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And we get back to them. They're still back at the fucking
beginning. Workroom.
Unless I've destroyed.
And they've hopefully taken care of the repair team.
If I've already destroyed the repair team, we'll make our way to
all
you.
Gargoylites, whatever.
Now,
little
that may not be a great idea. So remember, this place is a spider web. And there's multiple channels to get there. If you leave the workroom, then gargoyle lights will be getting into the room, seeing what happened, and running off and telling.
Okay.
So you need to
continuously
kill gargoyle lights.
Yeah.
Just a meat grinder, a gargoyle light meat grinder.
I'm gonna be like, I need everyone to go stand in the corner and splash yourself with water if possible.
Everyone is ready to go. So you're going all the way back to the workroom.
So Shani is placing what explosives on the
C20?
Your C20.
Oh, that's why you have to come all the way back.
So she has to wait till I get all the way back
correct.
because she won't have access to it till I get
unless
back.
you want to take her with you.
No.
I was going to say, then that reduces my fighting abilities with Gargoylites pouring in.
Yeah, and she's one of the only people that have weapons.
Mm-hmm.
So you come all the way back, you give her the explosives with the timer.
And then she goes and plants it.
She turns invisible and runs. Like, she starts running as you guys start going through and taking the big group up to the
So at that
front.
point, we're taking the group. We'll give her... Basically, I can tell her, this is how you set the charge.
Mm-hmm.
This is how to get a timer on it.
And Faith tells her where she's going.
Yeah.
And basically time yourself on how long it takes you to get down there or whatever and how to get back. So, like, because she's going to be trailing behind us by the time, like...
Yes, we
shit
are.
starts
We
to
are.
pop off.
Like, yeah, when...
Because
so
we're going
you're
to start
be,
escaping and she's going to be kind of
Yeah.
coming from behind.
Depending on how long
But
you
we're
set the
leading
charge
like
for.
50 people, aren't we?
Like 100.
This is not going to be
several
like a
hundred.
30-second thing. Like, she's going to have time to follow us.
Yeah, so you guys, like, she's going to run, you're going to lead these people through, and then you're going to get right up to the edge of the forge area, hiding everyone there. She's going to have, hopefully, already gotten down there, planted the explosives, run back up.
Obscure area.
And it detonates. And you guys all meet up and all leave.
All right.
Sounds like a hell of a plan.
That's what we got. Don't roll back. Us 3.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Also,
Those
do we
were-
lose these bennies
no,
from last time?
we don't
We got
get-
them because
No,
of the Joker.
you got them from the Joker, but you don't still have them.
You don't. They don't carry over from game to game. That's what I was saying. You should have 4. I should have 2. So.
Yep.
Oh, that's crazy. I have to pee before we do all this.
Oh, you got excited. Outside, boy. Outside.
Also,
I'm gonna go ahead and roll Shani's stuff. So, I mean, this could fail right off the bat
Right.
if she can't get those explosives placed without being noticed.
I have expertise with hammers.
Well, she doesn't get. Oh, she has to get those explosives first, right?
Yep.
Does he have expertise with hammers?
6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, recap? Okay. So, quick recap for the viewers at home about what situation they're in right now. So, these guys were... He's a burster. The Coalition in this world, the Coalition is this human organization like Nazis. They want to destroy anything that is not human. Bursters are very powerful pyrokinetic psychics. So he's enemy number 1 for them. Dog boys are genetic mutants made out of dogs the Coalition uses to track down people like him. They ended up together through unfortunate circumstances. He was being hunted. He defended himself, saved his life though. Now they're together and they've been running from the Coalition ever since. They finally got out from underneath the Coalition's boot and far enough away, and they found their refuge. Like, they found their perfect place, the thing that they've been looking for. There's this castle in the Ozarks that is a whole bunch of free progressive thinkers that are trying to help everyone out. It's called Castle Refuge. But the moment they arrived, I'm doing a recap for those at home.
Oh, okay.
You said it was going to be a minute.
The moment they arrived, a plot unhatched. It looks like a coordinated plot to attack Castle Refuge from these demonic entities, the Gargoyles and the Broadkill. So they didn't know about the Gargoyles. They suspected that there were Gargoyles, but they knew about the Broadkill. The Broadkill were just terror troops. They're out harassing townsfolk and things like that. So Castle Refuge tasked them with going to these certain towns and checking in on them. When they arrived, they found that the quarry had gargoyles in it, and they went to the town to check that the town was a trap, that the gargoyles wait at the town, capture anyone who was there, bring them in, and that's where we are now. They had been captured by gargoyles and brought into the mine. So...
expected to come back and see you already shuffling your cards. And be like, well, that plan didn't go to...
That plan didn't go so well.
They're already fighting these gargoyles with no weapons. This ought to be fun. Or they could just go, boop. Dead. So is this just Shani to see if she can go invisible?
That was Shani going invisible,
yeah.
Getting the explosives, and planting them.
So on the gargoyles?
On the gargoyles.
How did that go?
I'll let you know once I get back.
Okay.
One after the other.
Please.
Yeah, what I meant by it's going to be a minute is like this whole plan is going to take some time.
What is this? Is this his beer? Alright.
There's so much going on with this fucking plan.
We've had crazier.
You might as well grab me one too, if you don't mind.
Let me think about the club and Shadowrun. By the time we got to the seventh circle, most of us forgot what we were even doing there.
What?
He's like, there's a lot of moving parts to this plan, and I was like, I don't know, we've had some Shadowrun plans where by the time we got to the end, I was like, I'm not really sure.
Wait, what was the original goal?
What am I supposed to interrogate this guy about?
How's Tucson? Our snowstorm left less than an inch. Aw.
Where's that?
That is in Flagstaff.
Oh, yeah. We have a 50 to 60% chance of rain tomorrow. For 4 hours plus.
Galen said you licked my beer.
I did not. I went like this.
I'm totally okay with it. It's just like making out with him.
I'm desirable.
Deyton, get off your phone. Hey, other guy, Much. M-U-T-C-H. So, your name is Much now.
I like it. You
Much.
should be the dog boy now.
I'm actually, my wife's phone is Mitch. Because we had
Mitch? Like M-E-E-C-H?
Because we had a lot of, like when we were working together originally, we had a lot of like Latin workers, people, Spanish speakers. And so, hey, Mitch this, Mitch that. And she called me Mitch for the first like 3 years that we were together. Now we're married, and I'm in my wife's phone as Mitch.
Mitch. Still, to this day. What she in your phone has?
It's even worse. It's like heart emoji, Taylor heart emoji.
Okay.
And hang on,
it could be worse.
I put it in there, and then like nothing identifies it. Like if it's like the like say I'm in the car and it's like Bluetooth ready, I'll be like, call Taylor. It's like that's not in your contacts. And I'm like, fuck you,
because of the emojis.
So I'll be like, call 490, say her phone number, and it's like calling emoji Taylor emoji. I'm like, motherfucker, you.
Now can you say?
I've tried
emoji.
that, so it doesn't work. It says something weird like that, but it doesn't show up. And the problem is, I showed it to her one day. Like she texted me and she's like, "What is my name on your phone?" And I was like, "Well, it's hard." So she's like, "Oh!" So now it has to stay that way because it's cute and I can't reduce it.
Just take the one off the front and put it on the end.
Right,
maybe,
Hart, yeah.
Maybe that'll work.
That's what it is.
What are you doing? What are you doing over there?
I'm sorry.
I gotta blow some stuff up,
All
and then you might have to shoot some gargoyles.
I don't have anything to shoot them with.
Not right this second. There's a lot of stuff going on.
The power goes down.
I mean, she already got her explosives. They're already on,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's down. Okay, cool. So I know where they're at, right?
Yeah, they're on their backs.
That's
you don't have to do anything.
But I'm on fire anyway, so it's gone. I'm mad about it. Let's do it. Am I close enough to burst both of them? Are they in the same spot?
You can. She waited until they were next to each other. So yes.
Burst is bullshit. I don't have to really hit the circles. They're on their backs, right? I just have to set them on fire, don't I?
You can do this one of two ways.
Okay.
You can do it with precision. It would take no ISP.
Mm-hmm.
Just basically superheat the point on each one. But it would be a multi-action penalty. So you'd roll your psionics, but the difficulty would be 6. Okay? Or you can burst, just kind of melt that whole section and hit both of them and hope that the things go off. But you don't know how heat resistant the casings are of these things.
Is it safe to say that because I can read fire, that I would have marginally been able to tell, because we've been watching them blow the walls up?
So the casings stay pretty much intact, even after the shape charge go off. So they're pretty resilient.
So,
precision time.
All right, let's precise it.
Okay.
At least the first one.
You're not wasting any ISP, which is good, because you're going to need that shit later.
I got a lot.
So, psionics roll.
Alright.
Gargoyles. Gargoyles.
Alright.
Where's Rob? Why isn't he watching?
Alright, let's go ahead and re-roll that shit.
You can add a d6 if you want instead.
No.
Okay. What did you get?
A 2 and a 1. Son of a bitch, man.
No. Okay. So
I failed that shit miserably.
All right. So now
I like you on fire.
I'm gonna ask this: like you
critical fail.
Since you were doing precision,
you just suck.
Did you light yourself on fire?
No, I mean unless they saw me like kill my head thing.
Now you don't have to take that off. I keep telling you that. It just has to be turned off for you to use your abilities.
I'm mad. Okay. I would have taken that off. That's what I'm
saying.
So just immediately was
he's not saying that he took it off. He's saying that like he just lit up.
Yeah.
Like
so
he went to like I'm on fire.
Am I on fire like that? Sorry. Yes, I was on fire immediately.
Yeah.
So
I'm like, you failed. Well, if this went down a different way, if you did not light on fire, they would have been like, oh, what's wrong with the power?
No, I was gonna say
but you just lit up.
No. I mean, if I probably would have torn the thing. Would I hot enough to melt that with my hands?
Yeah, but
well, then I wouldn't light on fire then because we're power out. I would have, but I still would have torn my hat off. Absolutely.
Okay, so you're just like, even though you don't need to take it off,
I took it off.
You're going to take it off
because at this point now we're backtracking to make this easier for me. My character would have taken the moment that power's off. I would have pulled that shit right off my head. Sorry, that's just.
You just want that thing off.
I'm not trying to be a dick about it. That's if I'm role playing. No. That's what
because if you would have said that you didn't do that, I would have made you make a spirit check. Because you're so angry and fiery,
not to blow up.
No, you would have. If you wanted to try to keep it clandestine and all that, I would have had you check. But yeah, no.
I don't know. It's hard. Part of me feels like I would have lit on fire. I would have at very least pulled that hat off. Yeah. So we'll just say that I would just tear that thing up. What's up?
I think that was the first thing you said.
I'm on fire then. Yeah, I'm on fucking fire.
So they noticed.
Bright. Okay. So now it's a spirit check.
Nope. No, you did that. You lit on fire. If you tried not to light on fire, I'd have made you.
Oh, that's what you meant. Because I'm not on fire.
If you were trying to hold it in,
I was mad on fire. I'm off. Boom. So those guys are still alive. Perfect.
So they're both still alive. Mm-hmm. It's coming down to initiative.
Yeah.
So it's
great. I know, man. But I feel like I shouldn't even have backtracked that character at all. I would have been completely on fire. I would have pulled that thing off my head and then precisely tried to think.
All right.
It's a silly combination.
I'm going to give you the choice.
All right.
Normally I deal to you first. Do you want to change that up or
no? Why mess with tradition?
Okay.
Give me that 4.
7.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
7 of diamonds.
There's less things than 7.
God.
You get 2. He gets 2, doesn't he?
No, this is just between. You're the only one that can detonate.
Is that a Joker? Don't get the fuck. The fucking Joker.
They got the Joker. This is just between you and the gargoyles because you're the one that you have to get these things off.
I get an extra Benny for that, right?
I am giving you guys bennies for that.
All right.
That just shit all over your plan.
Way to suck, friend.
We should really go back and recap the last game we played. Fucking double 1 fucker.
Twice in a row.
Yeah.
Too much glare. There's a like there's a pretty easy, but mine like I don't know if I can turn it that way. Once I just
that was perfect. Yeah, no, you can see it now. Yeah.
Like I'm super but I am like dark. So
it's because of your ethnicity.
You do need the.
Yeah, I need the lighting.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
We don't quite get your paste without it.
Right. You don't see how pasty I am. So it's a Joker.
Fuck. I'll be alright.
Just
my armor's on. And I'm very bright.
Like, to be fair, like, we're all here, though, right?
Yeah. You're all there.
Well, Shani maybe not, because she did things invisibly. And
she's invisible somewhere else. What this was is, like, again, I told, like, if he didn't light up, they would have had to make notice checks to see, like, oh, power's out, what's going on, make sure the slaves don't move.
I would have had to make spirit checks to not be mad and explode.
But the moment he lights up and the power goes out, they're on guard. So this was essentially an initiative check to see does he get one more chance before they get to act.
And that is not
what happened.
I was just trying to hope that maybe if we have our tools around us, I could try to throw a hammer at one of those things.
Everyone can.
You can try whatever.
Everyone can do all that. The thing that you're not going to kill him in a round with a hammer. Only he can get that done, and they're going first.
See, that's what I was saying. I would throw a hammer at one of the
things
the rolls I could set it off.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're on their backs.
But if that's not going to work, then
the fates have decided. Let's
let him
move forward.
Do his.
I'm bright on fire. Obviously, I would cut you guys. You would probably shoo everybody away from me because you've been set on fire before. So if you want to make everybody retreat,
who would be? You're back. Never know what this asshole's gonna do.
Never know what this asshole.
Tell me what your resistances are again.
My toughness with my armor is 11.
No, your resistances.
Oh, my resistances. I'm half damage to electric and laser. I'm completely immune to plasma, fire, heat. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
And
they have what? He has a railgun?
No.
Oh, no, these are not powered. Yeah, this is just fucking gargoyles.
These are just gargoyles in armor.
Yeah.
The guy that doesn't have the tentacle arm.
It's like there's whip arm and there's non-whip arm.
Pulls out an ion pistol.
Cool. That will hurt me.
That will hurt you. That's his first action is to double tap you with an ion pistol.
I go like this.
Oh, no.
What's the armor piercing on an ion pistol?
Thanks, Deyton.
None.
Thanks, Deyton.
Hey, look, again, my character is still there. Like, I would know what an ion pistol looks like, even if it's bigger.
Two of the, it's essentially like kind of a burst weapon. Like, it just shoots out a ray. So you're essentially getting hit twice.
So it's one wound?
No. Now I'm rolling damage.
Oh, that's right.
The thing about ion pistols is that...
Is there any chance for me to jump in front of him and take the blast?
Absolutely. You want to do that?
What are you...
He's MD right now. Like, he's got his fire armor on.
Oh, yeah, never mind.
So, like, he can...
I forgot. I don't have my armor
You don't have armor. Like...
Never mind.
You could.
See, that's what I was asking. I thought I was going to help you, but then I remember,
right now, that's he keeps saying it, too,
I'm like a naked dog.
This part of the plan is really hinging on me. I have to blow these guys up and not die so that I can. No, it's okay. It's that way I can keep killing stuff. Remember that.
In any other situation, I'd be like, yes, I absolutely would dodge in front of you to try to take this because I could take it.
I appreciate you.
But in this situation, I forgot you actually have your armor because it's just natural.
Yeah.
Ion pistols essentially deteriorate.
But my red rocket is just hanging out in the open.
They start taking particles of you, knocking out atoms. They'll just kind of essentially, it's melt, but it's melt like acid, not like fire. It just starts knocking out.
Oh, that's right. And I don't have any acidic resistance, which is strange.
This isn't acid, but the function is the same. These ions are going into essentially your very molecules and knocking out parts of them, and you just kind of disintegrate. The thing about them is that they're weaker over range because the ions start scattering and they're less effective when they just start bouncing off. But he's at point blank range, and this is going to hurt.
What if I throw Dub in front of him?
This is like, wow. Take that, Dub.
Destroy an NPC for my health.
Okay.
All right.
He's just big and strong. We don't need him.
11.
11. 7, 13, 15, 16, 17. So that is...
That's a hit with a raise.
That's a hit with a raise, so that'd be 1 wound and shaken, unless you spend a Benny to soak.
He's only got...
I got that extra.
Now, I'm hitting you one more time after this.
I better be fresh for that hit.
Okay. So roll your vigor with your wild die.
Remember that time we could have just stayed at the castle?
5.
And
Yeah,
lived a
I
happy
do remember
life?
that time. Yes, I do remember that time.
We could have been like, we just gotta stay here.
So, what'd you get?
5.
You succeeded. You've soaked the damage. Soaked the 1 wound, and you are not shaken because you soaked all the wounds.
Gotcha.
Second shot. Okay. Wow, that was weird. 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. Shaken.
It's not bad. It's not bad. we can live with you
All
being
right.
shaken.
So you are shaken.
Not stirred.
Here's your shaken token. Now you need to get... Oh, the other guy. He's like... He looks over, sees you on fire, and he goes on his other arm. With his little whippy tendril. He's like... And he hits the big red button. And nothing happens.
No.
Perfect.
Because the power's down.
So that's how he used his turn?
Yeah. So you're not sure if that also sends out a signal or not. But he hit a big red button, which is if the power comes back on,
everybody dies.
Everyone dies.
That's fine. So
That's
fine.
there's nothing else I can do about it. So,
no, that is true.
So, all right.
So you don't get to get rid of that yet.
It's vigor again, right? Or my spirit?
It's spirit to recover from shaking.
Same, it doesn't matter.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, you are fine.
10. All right, cool. So let's do that. Burst these buddies. Oh, it's not even my fucking turn anymore.
It is your turn.
Oh, well, you
get to go.
All right, cool.
I'm shuffling because you rolled a joker.
So now
the joker.
Now it's burst to try to tag both of these since precision didn't work.
All right. Do it. Are you spending any to get any bonus?
That burst
in
case those cards just don't get set off.
So here we go. Here's my thing. So then the effect is 2d10 or 3d12 mega damage, psionics versus agility to hit.
Yeah.
Raising the PPE only raises the damage, not the actual effect of how I hit or anything like that.
Just the damage. So
I don't need
to
to add anything to it.
3d12.
I don't need to.
No, it's the second number. So the ISP has one number, then a slash, and then another number.
Yeah.
You use the second number to get the 3d12.
Yeah, so I don't need that because all I'm trying to do is just catch these things on fire.
Well, you're trying to do enough damage to break through the casing.
Perfect. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Cool. So,
yes, I would pump more into it.
So
now, also reminder, you're Master Psionic. Mm-hmm. Do you want to pump ISP into getting a better roll? Because you can pump ISP to get a +2 to your roll.
That's right. I forget about that a lot. Yeah, let's do that too. So.
I mean, this is pretty critical. If this fails, then it's a fight to get out of this place.
So,
no pressure.
Yeah. So this is gonna be my smarts. I'm gonna add a d6.
Okay. And you're adding +2 from the other one as well.
So it's a 10.
That's a hit with a raise. So you're doing the 3d12 plus a d6 to both of them.
That's like your first one.
What did you roll? A 12?
I rolled an 8, but I didn't think about my +2 before I did that, so then I added in a 12.
Like he rolled a 6
No.
with the original +2, and then he added.
That's
2 more
fine because they get agility checks to try to get out of the way, and they have to beat that 12.
I need this. That's what I'm saying. I need to smash them.
Neither of them get out of the way.
Yes. So now it's fucking d12 time.
It's a cone, so it's not a.
I know.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, I don't think it was a 12, it was a 10.
Was it 10? You rolled a 6 +2 is 8. Plus 2 is 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I rolled another dice and I added a 2 to it. So.
Right. Anyway, doesn't matter. They didn't get a 10 or a 12, so.
But it was a 10 now.
I know. I wanted to go overboard. This is one of those overkill moments I'm famous for. Oh, this is 18, 26, 29.
Yeah.
I melt that shit.
So you're like,
where are those rolls been, buddy?
Your flame goes off. Everyone in the room immediately is like starts sweating. But it's like the coolest little thing is like fire, then 2 pop pop like from inside the fire, and they're explosive like because these things are shaped to depth charge. So and they're facing you. So these things blast back at you guys, like over your guys' heads.
Dance in their blood.
Like, as their just chests explode, parts go everywhere. Some people get hit and injured a little bit. Nothing serious, though.
It's kind of my MO. Sorry.
Yeah, and now there's a big...
This is why I backed everyone back,
And there's a big...
I told you that was smart.
Yeah, a big melty spot on the wall, and kind of 2 gargoyle-shaped char marks in that melty spot on the wall. The problem with that, all of their gear is gone.
All right. Well,
yeah, I mean,
Faith Cam, let's go.
Like that ion pistol did not survive. That electro ball didn't survive.
Whatever. Regardless, the plan has to continue. So Faith Cam, let's go. Like we have to go do what we gotta do. Something's gotta go.
Shani comes out of invisibility, strengths up, and pulls the conduit off the wall. You melt Faith Cam his collars off.
And then I start working on everybody else.
And you and Shani start working on everyone else. Cam needs like 3 turns to pull enough parts out of that conduit to go. And then you're off. So she's like someone, Dub gave her his shirt and she just has it like slung up like a bag with all the parts in it.
I think Deb just wanted to take his shirt off.
He did. Natural.
That's why I wanted to throw him in front of you earlier.
Hashtag I woke up like this.
Yeah. Hashtag my pre-workout is your workout.
What is that? Hashtag my day drinking is your
alcohol poisoning. That's the answer to that. My day drinking is your alcohol poisoning.
So during all these turns, does stuff happen?
Stuff is happening. So you are going to need to make a tracking roll. This is for you to avoid gargoyle lights and anything else of these, and help these guys through.
You've been giving me a hard time about that bullshit all day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at all those.
That's not a success. Yeah. So do you want to reroll or do you want to add a d6?
I think I'm at a d6. Do I like?
Yeah,
okay,
I need to know.
I
added 10.
So 13 was the final roll.
Yeah.
So 13 was the final roll. You guys. You got a rough start, but things are going better now.
You guys, what does you guys mean?
What is that good or bad?
I feel like in every encounter, I just need to set a small fire and everything's fine after that. Like
it's like you gotta get your first burst off.
Yeah, burn something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right. Everything's good.
Everyone's like, okay, we mean business now. Everything's on fire. We obviously gotta get this shit done.
When the gargoyle lights come in, what is it that you're doing to them?
I mean,
are you just going to throw bolts at them?
Small little shitties, right? Yeah. I mean, bolting is probably what I'm going to be doing.
Because it costs no ISP.
Yeah, it's easy, it's quick. And
because you need to let your ISP come back. Mm-hmm. So, how much do you get back every...
It's, rapid recharge is... It's something like... I just have gain rapid recharge, which is... I get an ISP every 30 minutes.
Okay. So you're going to gain... Well...
Nothing at
Go ahead and gain 1 back
right.
now.
That's not...
I mean, it's a little bit of a something.
No.
But
it's better than that.
So other people can help him, right?
Yeah.
Not gain ISP.
Like, they don't have...
Well, no, but like Dove can reach down and snap a neck.
Yeah, Dove can...
3 feet.
Dove can put a pick
fucking gargoyle
through.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So anything I miss, there's another 100 people ready to tear these things apart.
I'm not sure what Ariana can do.
Yeah, she is an Altera blind warrior woman. The people on the Splugorth barge.
Yeah.
So she's she's genetically magically created to be a warrior woman, so she's pretty bad.
Saying they can help you kill these
That's
things.
true, but not even that though.
Needs to happen.
My thing is like, if I can't kill them myself, we still have 100 people with sticks and axes right now, like ready to hit things.
Zvanko is over collecting those charges. He's just getting as many of them as he can. He's also like giving them to come over to you, and like this can be used as artillery against the crew. Like the people around you can throw these things at the maintenance crew, and you can like set them on fire.
Wouldn't I technically be able to set them on fire as well, throw them, and then intensify the fire once it gets out there?
But as you've seen that. That isn't great.
Yeah,
but
who knows?
Like, think about this. Like, I'm just saying.
Blow your fingers out. Set a charge on fire.
I'm just saying, like, you're gonna burst anyway, right? Like, there's a gargoyle in a power armor with a rail gun, and you're gonna burst it. Imagine 6 of these guys throwing these things at them, and then you burst, and all of those go off.
Yeah, let's stop. That was the original.
But these other people may know how to throw.
That's what. Well, that was the original plan too. I forgot about was that those extra explosives were going to be on hand just for that purpose.
Zvanko thinks he can start putting them in the tunnel if you want to try to lay a trap at the entrance to this area.
I don't see why not. Absolutely. Yeah.
So Zvanko's going to work on that.
All right.
It takes them all out.
He what?
It takes them all out.
Oh, I thought you said it takes them all out, and I was like, oh, so we just blew up that part.
Like he's putting up there.
He and his 3 buddies are killed instantly. Rock falls down.
Yes, I do need background music, but I don't have it set up right now. All right.
I mean, that's what's going on right now. Right?
At the 30-minute mark, the maintenance crew shows up. This is a fully power-armored, railgun wielding gargoyle.
You guys are still
at the
here?
What minute mark? Do you say 30?
30 minutes. That's why I got 1 ISP back.
Yeah.
So our trap is set. Would it be advantageous for me to not be on fire right now? Like they can't quite see me, or does it not fucking matter?
There's lights in here.
Okay.
Actually, no, there's not. There's no power.
Yeah, we turned the power off.
So it would be advantageous not to have.
So I'll go on the side and I'll hide until.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to get the drop.
You're not going to get the drop. They can see in the dark. They have sensors, but they would see the heat way long before. Like they'd see heat radiating out into the other hallway. So it's best to be off and let them have to come all the way into the room.
Yes, then we'll do that.
Because then they don't think anything's up. They'll see everybody at the same.
They know something's
more
up.
Or less.
They just don't know what yet.
Right. And you can imagine that they probably tried to contact the gargoyles to no effect.
And they don't have sensors showing the necklaces off. Our gargoyle guard had
both of them had them. So there's probably more of these networks out there, but since none of you guys are in power range, or none of the callers are in power range, none of them are going to show up on anything.
Gotcha.
But you don't know how much redundancy or how many people
be a good
were
thing.
monitoring.
It might lure them in anyway, because if they can tell that there's no neck powers going on, they don't have to worry about it too much.
All right. So, you ready for your 2?
6. You get
6. You think it's 6? 7.
Damn.
7 again. 7. There's a Shamarian.
Yeah.
You ran those girls off.
Yeah, that's perfect. It's bad luck with these guys. Let's try it. 14. You have a card in there.
King.
It's a 14.
14.
King of the Split Growth. So, the people...
most of 13, right?
Most of the group of
King is a 14.
It's not how that works. Their face cards are all 10.
All 10, yeah. Well, technically in this they keep going higher, so
it's like 10
11,
points. Oh, I see. For riffs. Sorry, I thought you were talking about like in poker.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you were talking
in
about
blackjack it'd be all 10s, but in this it's.
Excuse me.
So.
Calm the fuck down.
The townsfolk are tucked into your last blast corridor as deep as they can go to try to not be in line of fire. They've also Dub has moved the minecart that was raiding. He's just pulled it off the track and put it in front of that to block the way. So they're like the railgun's gonna Swiss cheese through that, but at least it's something, and they're kind of off to the side. So it's you, Dub,
Ariana,
Orania, A, and Zvanko.
Gotcha.
Are up front when this thing turns the corner. And opens fire on you.
I'm like, ah.
Ah!
No, I'm on
so,
fire.
yep, obviously. The railgun goes off.
That's a lot of dice.
Sorry. It does have a high rate of fire. All right. So you lit up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. By doing that, you drew all the attention to yourself.
That's fine.
2 rounds are going into your flames.
No.
No. Let's hope they melt before they hit you.
That's just I spent all my pennies. I have bad luck. It's a bad luck plan. This is what bad luck means. Like, this is literally what bad luck is about. Oh, that's not good.
His face. He hasn't picked up a dice yet to re-roll it.
Ah!
Oh, he just picked up both.
2, right? Yeah. I'm destroyed, huh? The railgun rakes your body into splinters.
You just died.
You become a cloud of blood that quickly boils away.
That was 25.
Yeah, I'm dead.
So, in this game, there's the death and dismemberment chart. We can work, like, you're going incapacitated. We roll on that chart to see how permanent the injuries are if you're just straight up dead.
Okay.
Or you can invoke Blaze of Glory.
That's also bad, though.
Blaze of Glory means we ignore this hit completely and you survive this entire round and we keep going and we keep playing. But at some point tonight, your character must die. And he goes out how you want to in a Blaze of Glory, helping people.
This is a tough choice because
if I survive and I have problems, we'll have to deal with those forever. And if I die, I can die in a spectacularly effective fashion because of how strong I am.
If you survive the wound, you're still incapacitated and down, and the townsfolk are dead. Like, this thing is just going to kill everybody.
It's going to have to be Blaze of Glory. It's been a good time, buddy. This is it.
Are you like I'm?
No, because you're totally right. Because if I'm damaged and I'm out now, nothing can be done. Right. The trap can't be set off properly.
The way that Blaze of Glory works, I'm just curious. So, like,
this round is ignored.
Will this mean that he's basically just gonna take on a new character for this?
We'll have to write me into a different character.
Yeah, this character's gonna die.
Okay.
This is the last time.
This is the last hurrah for Ignatius. Him saving these townsfolk from the minds of the gargoyles.
He was gonna die at some point anyway. He's an angry.
Sorry,
hothead.
you're losing your.
I know.
I'm sorry. That's.
He's been a fun character.
I mean, we don't know that this isn't gonna happen to me in a few minutes. Like,
we'll find out.
Now, if that happens, then like you guys both died saving all these people, and we make all new characters at Castle Refuge to continue the storyline.
We'll find. And if I do die, then I'm dying. I'm dying.
But
so we'll find.
You just you light up, you scream at this guy. He just lights you up, and you were so intense that the railgun rounds are melting, essentially converting to plasma, which is kind of what they do. They melt the air around them. The rounds are going so fast, and you're immune to that. So you're not getting hit by the slug. You're not getting hurt by the plasma. Your go.
All right, so the trap is set. I'm going to burst the trap.
All right.
Burp.
So the burst of the trap also hits him. So it's just a straight up. You're
also hits who?
The big guy.
Oh, you like waved at him.
No.
I don't want to burst
you. So you're attacking it, and it's also going to hit all of the charges around him.
I should be long gone at this point.
Oh yeah, you're 30 minutes.
Me faith in Cam.
Yeah, you're half an hour away.
You're already out doing the thing with Cam. I'm going to get to you.
Which is probably why
we avoided these guys.
It would make sense too why I went overboard. Like there was nobody here to be like, "Hey, calm down." And I'm just like,
yeah.
So
you don't have your friend is out there in danger, and you know you can't die here, and leave him all alone.
Is Shani with him or
Shani's with him?
Okay.
I thought Shani went with you. Oh no, you had to bring the C20 back.
Yep.
That's right. So 10 d6. So we got an 8 for the burst.
8 with the burst.
I have to roll agility to get out of the way.
But I'm not striking at them specifically, right? They don't get to dodge.
Well, they won't get to dodge the traps going. Well, they will get to dodge the traps going off. I'm just wanting to see if he's dodging your direct effect.
Okay.
And he does not. You hit him, not with the raise though.
That's fine.
Did you do?
No, I did the regular because I was really just trying to set the trap off. And so I 11 damage him. Oh no, sorry, 19.
19.
Yeah, 19. 8 and 11.
8. So it's 2d12 normally.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then what happens when it?
It's 2d10. Son of a bitch. Sorry, let me re-roll that.
Are you sure you don't want to go the mega, like the mega power version?
Should I? All right, why not? Only a couple more eyes.
It's 3d12, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nah.
So
you're gonna die at some point.
That's true.
Right, you can't take
I'm still being conservative, right?
This is literally your blaze of glory.
Yeah, that's
sort of
true.
speak,
I'm not using it correctly, so I need another d12.
Right.
Did I already steal it?
Yep, in the middle, red.
Oh, damn. I can't identify d12 very well.
And they're like the least used die.
So that is less than my original roll. That is a 14.
14. What's the red die?
11.
Okay, so let's take your original roll of the 2 dice, which was 19.
Yeah.
Plus that 11. So.
Well, let's not do that.
No, that's.
All right.
This is you going out, man.
So that's 30 then.
Yeah. So you hit him. It's like you start to see his armor melt. His railgun starts overheating, but then, like popcorn, all of the charges just are exploding through him. Essentially, these precision depth charges that are supposed to crack stone. And that is the end of that. He falls to a knee and pitches forward a smoldering hulk. There are 2 gargoyle technicians behind him. They're going to attempt to run, so you're going to need to get them.
At this point, I'm breathing smoke.
So they did not get hit by any of those explosions or anything?
They were well back. Yeah, they were not.
Not to mention that thing would be taking up a big chunk of that.
Yeah. He's taking up the entirety of the entryway to here.
6.
4.
Damn.
He is terrible at.
Maybe your new character will be better.
8.
No, my luck. You know how my luck's been the whole time. You literally double my score.
They're turning and running. They're going to be. What's the length of your burst?
That's right. It's cone. It doesn't have anything.
Right.
Hang on.
So they're.
No, I don't have
a
burst.
Yeah, it's a template. So you'd have to run to catch up to them to burst. To burst.
But I can bolt them.
Or you can bolt. They're still in range for bolt. Otherwise, you'd have to run and take a -2 to the burst.
Since I'm hot enough, I mean, that whole place is probably on fire now. Can't I shove fire down the hole of the fire mastery? It's not a skill. I can just fuck around with it. Okay. So
not damaging at this level yet.
So let's bolt. Let's bolt the closest one.
Can you do shooting multiples yet?
I've never written that down anywhere, so no.
Yeah, it's a edge you could have taken.
Oh, then absolutely not. No, I improved fiery aura and read flame.
Otherwise, if he ran close, he could burst them both.
He could burst them both at a -2.
I mean, my burst is 3d8, isn't it?
Your burst is 2d10. Oh, your bolt is 3d8, but you only hit 1.
No, like my fiery aura is 3d8 damage, but it also has burst. I don't know what that means.
Oh, you had improved fire aura. You can burst around you in an explosion,
okay,
like you did way back when.
Gotcha.
No, I'm talking about your bolts. Your burst power, the thing that you always use. You could get both of them if you take that -2 to run.
Why not?
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Got a Benny over there.
You got that Benny. Let's do it.
Let's power this sucker up. So,
I mean, this is it for you.
This
This may be the last time
weird. It's like
you get to set anything on fire.
Every time this ISP goes down, it's getting more real. Where I'm like, dude, I gotta lose this character here. All right, so it's bursty time.
Yep. Roll it. Just stage it.
Fuck yeah. 14.
Yeah, that's a hit with a raise, even with the run. Let me try to dodge that. Ooh, someone has a chance. No, he doesn't.
Someone has a chance. Never mind.
13.
13. What is there? There's no armor penetration with that, right?
Mega damage.
Okay.
I mean, these are just repairmen. I wouldn't think they would be.
They both it hits them. They start catching on fire.
Would adding a D6 affect that at all?
No.
Would re-rolling be the right thing to do?
I say just
re-rolling.
I have that last Benny, and I'm trying to kill these two dudes.
They're both shaken, so they're both falling down.
Yeah, I got them next round.
Essentially.
I don't think you need to.
All right, they're on fire. Keep that Benny.
They're on fire.
Here comes your 4.
You just had a 4. I'm thinking a 2.
No, it's a
time
4.
for the 2.
It's probably another 4.
It's a 5.
What?
Really?
It is comic that we can all guess how low I'm going to roll. Like, no one ever guessed above a 6. No one suspects a 6. 18.
18. There's
2.
What? I get to go again?
You get to go first. Before they get up.
While they're shaking.
Yeah, they get plus, they actually, you don't get a +2. They just don't get to dodge. As long as you get it off, it hits.
Right, so.
Burst away, my friend.
Regular burst, because I don't need to up it anymore.
Right.
Do you not obscure area? I know you really want to before
I know
you
it's
go
tough
out.
not to obscure the area.
Don't do that right now. Maybe later.
What's bad about that is it lasts for like 30 minutes too, so you guys won't be able to come back into the thing. I got a 22.
What? You rolled a too many?
I got a 2.
No,
okay,
it's a 2.
You got a 2.
I got excited too. It's like, 20!
Add a d6.
Fucking
5?
7.
All
There
right.
you go.
You hit.
That's so fun.
Fuck.
Roll damage.
It just sucks that I had to do that. That's alright.
Sucks to suck, dude.
I know. Well, he's going to go
just
down.
happens,
He's
so.
going down in the sucky manner.
You're not going down now.
32?
Yeah. 32 is the damage.
Oh, man. Yeah, they are incinerated.
That would be like, that's enough.
Your
to be
damage
like,
rolls are fantastic.
Yeah.
It's your
I just have
other
to
rolls.
hit. If I can just make contact, 3d12
what
is outrageous.
It's awesome, and it's absolutely necessary that you kill these things, though, as brutally as you do. But it also sucks because there's a lot of gear that they had that could have been used by Dub or you.
Well, it's the first time that I melted like 15 guys in a truck.
And the truck.
Completely annihilated any need to fight anymore, but I also destroyed all of the supplies. I melted the truck to the ground. I had to roll a calm down so he could get out of the truck even.
Because he was up in the turret. Okay, so the crew is dead. You don't know if they got a message out. Zvanko goes back to resetting the trap once you cool everything off.
Gotcha.
So
in a separate time.
In a separate timeline, you have reached the end of the maze, and you are now going to go left towards the entrance.
You brought a tool with you, right? You have a sledgehammer or hammer? Or something?
Yeah, he has a hammer.
Okay.
You brought a hammer.
I brought my hammer with
Okay,
me.
cool.
So you are...
Because you destroyed all the weapons. I was like, well, this is all I got.
So you are heading towards the entrance of the mines, essentially.
I was just saying, that's what I had to do.
Where this cable comes in to a point where you can get to it before it goes along the ceiling of the cave. So now you need to make me a stealth check.
Does it say stealth check?
Yep.
Does Faith get to help or anything?
I will let her help you.
I mean, she's the one that like knows these routes, and she's could be stuff.
She does not help you.
I got a 4.
Okay.
You barely succeed. You die.
You're heading down this ledge, and you have to like kind of go behind some. There's some rocks in the way, like there's some stalagmite, connected. That you have a blind spot as you're going around this area, and the moment you come around it, there's a gargoyle who's like kind of just hanging out. He's perched, like wedged into the rock, and just looks like he's trying to not avoid work. And he looks up at you.
Bark, dude.
3.
Do I get my...
2. Sorry. 6.
Oh, you get to read pull, right? Yeah.
Well, he doesn't because
No,
6
'cause-
or he has to get a 5 or a 6.
Six
is the lowest he
Yeah.
can get. A 3 and a 6. He gets 2 cards, and he can't get anything below 5. So that's shitty.
Whatever, this dude's got to get a 5.
Oh, a 6.
Get
What's
the
yours?
fuck out of here. This is the spade.
That's the top one.
Yep.
6 of hearts. So you go first, and the hearts is the second top one.
That's just keen senses.
Oh my
is what
God.
That was. You very barely got the jump on that,
Yep.
dude.
I'm going to break this little thing's neck.
Go for it. Fighting.
Just saying.
That's how you fight.
6.
That hits.
Roll your fighting damage.
So it's your strength plus d6 damage.
That's still pretty good for just punching somebody.
The hammer.
Well, that's right.
6.
No, 7. 6
Oh,
plus
7,
yeah.
7, yeah, sorry.
Really? Do
Yes.
you want to spend a Benny or re-roll that, or just let that
Add
happen?
a d6 at least. You gotta look how many fucking bennies you have. I'm gonna die.
Oh, it's a little 3-foot nothing like that.
Oh,
Doesn't, that doesn't hurt it? Like, are you serious?
No, then take the benny back. Take the benny back.
Dude,
Let the damage
No,
roll.
fuck it. Like, fuck it, whatever.
no, you re-roll. Re-roll damage.
You can't. Oh,
You
damage
can't add a
is
d6.
Oh.
It's a total re-roll.
Do you want to re-roll damage, or do you want to keep your
No,
benny?
let's just keep it then.
Yeah.
Fucking...
It bounces off him. He starts running.
Get your shit back.
Like, I just wanted to reach out and grab him and
Oh, is
break
that
his
you wanted to
fucking
grab
neck.
him? Okay.
Like, that's what I thought I was doing. Like,
no.
he's this tall. I'm this tall.
They are like
this.
stone-skinned
Fuck you.
creatures. So you grappled, and you got just roll your strength.
Just the strength.
Just strength.
I mean, I don't want to like go back on the rolls we just had.
No. I didn't realize what you were doing. What'd you get? And it's with a
Not when it
wild
rolls
die.
a 1. You didn't roll your wild dice either, by the way.
Yeah.
Here, you gotta roll your wild dice. There you go. Now re-roll your wild dice.
There you go.
You forgot your wild
Come
dice.
on.
There you go. 8. It's much better.
Just like I threw that out there. I'm like, fuck my life.
So you have.
What's happening tonight?
I know. What's going on?
Something in the air.
Also, I don't know how strong these little 3-foot things
They
are.
are they are.
They're gargoyle babies, basically.
Yeah, they are pretty damn strong. So you've grabbed it. It's wiggling. On its turn, it tries to break free. So strength test again.
Five.
Okay. It pops free, but that's all it can do. King and 9 of spades. Hey,
That's
we're back
way
to
more
good with.
There we
You've got your flush again.
There we frickin' go.
Queen of diamonds for
That's right.
it.
Suck
so,
it.
I recommend you just hammer this thing.
All right, let's hammer it. I didn't know it was that tough.
They are tough little critters. I mean, even though they're only 3 foot
I'm
tall.
not even sure how you
I don't know how I dropped that either.
You have a hole in your hand.
What the fuck is going on? I can't land it in the hole.
This smells like regular Heineken.
It's the funky stuff.
It's only a 3.
I got 4 bennies.
I can re-roll this one.
You can reroll or you can add a d6. Either way.
have the potential of rolling a 4, which is still a success. So D6 is your best option if you add.
This is melee, so the target number is their parry.
Which is for this thing you don't know.
You don't know. Like, look at what your parries are.
Fucking reroll it, dude. You have a good reroll score. That's way better. 8's way better.
Is that an 8? And then I get to reroll?
Yep.
Well,
9.
What, 9.
That's
a hit with a raise. So, it's a hit with a raise.
It is what it is, guys.
Plus D6 plus D6 for the raise.
So strength plus 2d6s?
Correct.
What the fuck is that? That's 6. We're not getting out of this tube. Well, I'm not getting out of this tube. But
See, you want to reroll that damage?
I can hit things.
You can reroll if you want to spend your Benny.
Reroll the whole roll.
You still have 2 after that.
Like the whole damage roll.
Whole damage roll.
I don't have to.
This is the only part of the plan you have to do by yourself. So that's 100% better.
What, 17?
So hang on, that's
9 plus
13,
8.
17, yeah.
Already 17.
Oh no, sorry, that was 19 plus 8 now, so that was 27.
It was 17, because 8 plus 9.
Yeah, sorry, it was 17 plus 8, so you're at
plus another
25. 8. Yeah, 25. 28 total.
You crack this thing's skull open.
That's much better than 4. What was your first roll? 4. Spend a Benny. 28. Okay, it's dead.
And then quietly dispose the body down the edge of the ravine right there, the slope, and continue on.
Mm-hmm. We're still heading towards the signal spot, right? The cable, where we're trying to get Cam to the signal.
Correct. So you get to that point, and the cable comes in from, like, you're so close, like you're within like 200 yards of the entrance to the mine. There's power armored gargoyles like walking around, but you're up like on this ledge and a cleft, and like the cord comes in through the cave, like through the side of the entrance, and pops out here and goes up along the ceiling.
Can Cam do her thing from here?
So she takes her things, whips up her little techno wizard device. She only has 3 she can make this to help you out. This is first taking up a third of her parts. But yeah, it's basically she makes a little microphone essentially with a spike coming out of it, and she sticks that spike into the thing, puts a little, just 2 little dials on it, and says, you need to give them a message.
While it's working, it looks like this.
It's a penis.
Aren't you glad it wasn't the techno wizard this
looks
time?
like dick butt.
I was like, I already know what you're going to be again.
Have I told you this?
Make a new character.
He and I have talked to us about this a whole bunch, but like, I was so mad because like we were drunk when I came up with that stupid quirk, and he's like, "Yeah, run with it," and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm going to do it anyway." And then like 3 games in, I was like, "I'm so sick of putting penises." And then every single time I made anything, everyone's like, "What is the penis part?" I can't even walk away from it. It's my fault. I did that shit.
All right, so I guess I would say, this is a message for Castle Refuge. I don't think I need to be specific to anyone. I don't have to be like, L of Owls, this is for you.
Yeah. No.
I'll just be like, Castle Refuge.
Yeah, nice.
Castle Refuge, like, there are gargoyles they're at. I would know the place's names.
Mid-Peak and Sheerton.
They look like they're building for war. They're using all this stone for
in the quarry.
Some sort of weapon? Is that what we decided?
Like armor weapons for armament.
They're inside the quarry. They have this little thing. They're using...
They're inside the mine.
Okay. They're inside the mine. They're using people as slaves to help them harvest all the stone. Send help. I mean, I don't know.
Do you give a breakdown of of the strength you have seen? Like, are you telling them that there's power armors, that there's
power railguns, there's railguns, there's gargoyles,
you don't have to actually say it.
There's humans helping in the town.
Yeah.
They have people attached with collars. Magic users have headpieces on them.
Yeah. You just give them a tactical breakdown as much as you can get out in the 5 minutes this device exists.
Yeah, whatever I could tell them to help them out.
And your voice does not crack.
I have very much tactical knowledge. I'd be able to let them know, like,
just
here's the fucking rundown. Okay?
Here's everything. All right. So you get that out, and now it's time to get your gear.
It was probably a very good decision that I went with Cam to do this, because I would be the one to be like, tactically, like, I can tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah,
that I have been told and can see.
So you give them they have power armors, they have railguns, they have magic users who shape stone. They're fully entrenched here. This is a fully operational armory, essentially. Armory and forge. So she's going to try to help you, and you're going to stealth back. She does not help you.
Yeah, like now after we're stealthing back.
So you're stealthing back to try to get to your gear.
It's okay, stealth. 3 is okay.
3 is not a success.
Can I add to this?
You can.
I don't feel like I'm going out of blaze of glory, but I mean, I might as well.
Might as well not mess this up.
Yeah, this plan kind of has to work.
God damn it. 4 is still a success, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
God.
Yeah. It's still a success. So...
What the fucking ones over here?
The 3 of you sneak up on the ledge. You stay low. You stop moving when gargoyles are flying by or swooping around or getting too close. And you get to where they took in your gear. And looking in there, it just looks like it's a cave with shelves molded out of the walls, and even
what's in there though?
Shelving
what kind of
in pillars that are coming out of the ground. It looks like they had their stone shapers just pull up like a warehouse out of stone. So there's all these shelving and all this just stuff. Everything that they've taken from the mines. Things that they can't use and don't care about. It's just junk. But somewhere in there is your gear. And right up front is a gargoyle guard.
Not a gargoyle.
A gargoyle.
Is he in power armor?
He is not in power armor. He's in regular armor. Okay. With a shock maul and an ion pistol.
And I have a hammer. It's gonna be awesome. I throw it at his head. Just kidding. I don't.
You can
not actually.
I'm skinny.
You can ask Cam to make a device for you if you want.
But can I use it?
You can't use it, but you can ask her to try to do something to the gargoyle if you want. Like she can try to do a single damage thing. She could try to put it to sleep. She could try to distract it. She could try to
think of any spell you've ever come up with. She might be able to make a device for it, but you have to tell her what you want to do specifically.
Correct. She might even be able to get you something that turns you invisible.
Imagine
so you could go in and get your gear and fight.
Yes, you're a mage for one turn.
Can't she do that?
You're a mage for one turn. Pick a spell that a mage could do.
If you're asking her to do that, she can try.
Because being invisible... Fuck. How long, though, will it possibly take me to get over to the goods and be able to look through and find my shit?
Can she create gigantism? Can she make him bigger?
Yeah.
You're already pretty big if you want to
don't know if that fight. You're still like punching something that has an ion pistol.
That's true.
That's like you really don't want the shot back is what you don't want. She can make you a shield. She can imbue the hammer with mega damage essentially, make it an impact hammer for one shot.
Put a rocket on the back.
Yeah, like you just put a little rocket on the back and that thing just one shot do mega damage.
You can make it armor piercing?
It would get armor piercing from that.
Techno-wizards are awesome.
But that would be only for one swing, and then you would lose the hammer as well. Actually, no, you can't. You cannot operate the weapon. Damn it.
Yeah, I would say, yeah. Because if she modifies the weapon, then I can't use it.
She modifies the weapon, so she could turn you invisible.
But so this is one of the situations like I can't ask like what can you do? Like I have to choose what she does.
You have to choose what she does. I mean, you've seen enough to know what's going on here. There could be a distraction. It could be an illusion. She could make you look like a gargoyle.
She made me look like another gargoyle. Because I'm big enough, so that wouldn't be too complicated, right?
But you can't speak their language. And you'd have to, he might question you when you walk in.
damn it, I almost like that idea, but if it talks to me and I don't respond and I just start rifling through bags, it's going to be like, it's going to say something to me. I'm still just going to be like, keep going on this.
And that wouldn't, like, she'd have to keep that projected on you, because she would have to be the one operating it. Because you couldn't, like, wear that or use that.
I'm guessing Faith isn't really a combat. She's a young
14-year-old girl. So.
She's more of just the like stealthy. Like, I know ins and outs.
You could ask her to try to sneak in. She when the guy's not looking, she can scamper in. She's small and quiet, and try to find your stuff.
And Cam still has 2 uses, right?
2 uses.
Because she used 1 to make the microphone. She hasn't done anything else. So technically, I can have Cam possibly distract the Gargoyle, have Faith sneak in and find my shit, and then Cam can make me invisible so I can get to my shit. Like, I won't have to look for it. Faith. Faith will be like, it's right there.
It's right there.
And if I can sneak past and be like, get my shit, because I know exactly where it's at.
And then
Cam would be useless after that.
Cam would be useless after that.
Why don't you have her make a device that imbues equipment that's got trace elements of you on it with magic so that you can identify them yourself?
Huh?
Like his equipment would smell and feel like him. Can she make a thing that will imbue his equipment with magic so he can find it easily?
That's
too far-fetched.
Scanner, like, weirdness.
If she was in possession of my equipment, I would say yeah, just because she'd be able to be like, well, I know this is his stuff. But right now, she can't tell what the fuck my shit is from this. She would just make a random guess, like, I think your stuff is there. That stuff smells like magic. That's where your shit is.
You should have her make a device that obscures area.
You could.
But then that's why I don't obscure
and
areas.
And it would alert him.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if I use her 2 uses now. And then hope that Faith can find my stuff.
At some point, you're going to have to give it over to Fate anyway.
To Fate or to Faith?
I mean, both kind of mean the same thing a little bit.
Well,
Faith the girl. No, sorry.
That's why I'm like, what?
Turn it over to Faith. You mean Faith? No, Faith. Who's Faith? Oh, Faith is the girl with us, yeah.
Because what I was just suggesting is, like, I can have Cam make something to distract the Gargoyle. Then I can have Faith sneak in and find my stuff. Give her a basic description. Hey, there's only one thing that looks like this dragonfire rifle and stuff.
Why don't I suggest...
You find that, because she's a little stealthy. And if she can let me know, like, oh, I found it.
How about instead...
And then Cam can make me invisible, and I can go right to Faith and be like, cool.
Why don't we skip those and make the distraction blind? Why don't you blind the Gargoyle?
Yeah, if you blind the Gargoyle, you could get surprise on it. You can either...
The Gargoyle.
Sorry, Gargoyle. You could walk by and try to get your gear before it recovers, and hopefully it doesn't hit a panic switch. Or you can blind it, and you can try to subdue it. Like, it's not, guns out or anything like that. It would just go blind. Mm-hmm. Then you could go in and, try to either choke it out or grab its own shock ball and put it out.
Ooh, steal his weapon.
All right, Cam. Can you blind this thing?
Absolutely.
You don't have to.
No, it's fine. No, it's better because then that saves a use for her later.
Yes.
Because she's only got 3 uses. She used 1. She's down to 2. It's probably not the smartest thing to use both uses just to get my equipment. Because I don't know what we're going to come back into. Like, I don't know how successful your team has been doing. Like, I could come back and
everyone's dead.
It's true.
Yeah. And be like, oh, well, shit.
Yeah, we gotta get out.
It's true. How are you guys doing?
Oh, God. Very entering. Entering. He's trying to say entertaining. I think Galen's had one too many.
This is super entering.
Entering. This is. All right. So she whips up a little device, and it looks kind of like a gun, but with like a reflector on the front of it. And she just kind of like reaches it in and pulls the trigger, and there's a flash of light.
Makes a squeaking noise.
Okay. Now it's the time to act, because it doesn't matter if that thing worked or not. You're moving, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here we go.
This is the worst.
It's like, what?
You don't know if it's worked. You just know that she used her device that should blind this thing. It's like
okay.
You're not.
I say, because if I know it's blind, I'll try to stealthily walk by. But if it's not, I'm like, oh fuck, here we go. I would charge on it.
There you go.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey.
Joker. All right, so this is Benny's all around.
Oh, I get one too. That's right.
You're still part of the game. All right.
Can you give me +2 to a double one?
Can I re-roll?
So it's sitting down in like there's a chair, kind of cubby, carved out of the wall for him. And he's like sitting there just as you enter the door, and like as you come around the corner, it's all like
facing the way we're coming.
Facing the way you're coming in, and he's like, it looks like he is blind.
Okay.
So he is in that moment of before panic. So
I guess
got a shock maul on his belt. If you want to try for that.
If I can try for that and get him with that, I think that's probably my best option.
Or grapple his arm with the panic button on it.
Yeah. He might have just a mic in his helmet. You're not really sure.
But if I'm able to pull
I'm also
that...
not here. Sorry, I'm also
If I'm able to pull that and incapacitate him with it, like...
If you want, since you have an option, because you have the +2, and that's a big advantage, you can try to perform both actions quickly. You can try to smash them both in the same action. Basically, grabbing the power maul and like taking it off his belt and hitting him with it in one stroke.
And that's normally at a -2, but it would be evened out because of my +2.
Of your +2.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And what role is this? Is this fighting?
It would be agility, an agility check to grab it and like essentially wield it.
That's a 10.
And then 10 with your wild, and then a fighting check for the hit.
And that's an 8.
Yeah, this sounds like a good plan.
It's not terrible.
And the fighting check, he doesn't get his parry, essentially. He's got a 2 parry because he's blind.
Oh, you already have it in there, sorry.
He has a 2 parry because he's blind. So he cannot parry the fighting roll. Actually, he's added like a -2 for his agility. You're at a +2 because he's blind for taking the weapon too. So you are still getting a +2 on top of all this.
I'm actually going to get a +2, at least for the first thing, or to both things?
Essentially both. Okay. You're getting a +2 to this roll because he is not fighting back. He doesn't know you're there. His parry is going down by actually more than 2. So you're getting a bonus of more than 2 against fighting him because you're just rolling against him.
So you're not going to roll your +2 for the fighting, but he's going to roll a -2 for dodging.
The target number is just
like
way low.
First, let's see if I can grab that fucking thing.
Endearing.
That's a success. 4.
4? With a +2,
with
right?
a +2.
6.
6. That's a success. Yeah, you've successfully grabbed it, and now you're.
And this is a fighting with my.
This is a fighting with your wild die against a 2.
5.
Okay.
Does that get a +2 to it? Or?
No, that doesn't get a +2 to it.
Okay.
So that is you're 1 away from raise. So add a d6.
I mean, I'm 1 away.
The
worst I can do is 5. So 10.
10 total.
That's 2 raises, right? Because it passes 8.
Yes, but there's no extra effect.
Gotcha.
It's your strength plus a d8 plus a d6 plus a d6.
Strength plus d8.
And then 2d6.
And then 2d6.
Yeah.
This is my total damage.
This is your total damage.
Burst, motherfucker.
Alright, so 13, 16, 17.
17. So you have gone up, smacked the hell out of him. The electro part goes off. Let's see how he handles that. He does not handle that. He's wounded and stunned and shaken. So he's going to try to recover. He does not because of the shock of them all. Reshuffle because of the Joker.
That's why. That's the worst part about pandemic. When you get an outbreak, you have to reshuffle the discard pile and put it back on top. So if you've had any outbreaks, they're back, right back in there, and they'll be shuffled, so you might get them in 2 turns. That's why it's called the rule is called intensify. So it's pretty intense.
Alright, so he is still shaken and has 1 wound.
He is still shaken and is wounded. You don't know how wounded,
okay,
but he is wounded.
Alright. So what I'm getting here is that I probably have to hit him again. As long as I go first.
Ace and Jack.
Nice.
Good signs.
Joker and Joker.
10. Joker.
That would be some shit if I did that on my turn. So you got both Jokers, huh?
Damn.
Do I get 2 babies?
You do. You would.
Really?
I would let that happen.
Yeah, that makes sense. Some lucky
bullshit.
Mean,
technically you're not using both Jokers, so I guess like rules as written, you would only do 1, but if you pull both Jokers, I'm giving you guys 2 bennies. Alright. So,
I want to say my course of action would be to strike him again with this weapon.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because, I'm already on top of him. I see that clearly it hurts him.
Right.
So I know it can hurt him more.
Yep. And he is still shaken and blind, so he cannot defend himself very well. He is now just flailing in the corner, making kind of gurgly sounds.
So this is fighting?
Fighting.
+6 plus wild, right?
It's fighting plus wild die. So your fighting skill plus your wild die.
And I get a +2, or he just has
he just has a minus.
Okay. He doesn't get a bonus for the weapon he's using.
No.
I got a 5.
This isn't damage. This is just.
That's what that's right.
So it's a regular hit, which is strength plus D8 plus D6.
Strength plus D8.
Oh, only? That's
yeah, only. Yeah.
So
19.
it's already...
19 to start, yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So that's 19 right there.
It's a 21.
22.
Yes, I don't know how to add. Luckily, I'll be teaching kids very shortly.
Right. You... Every time you get it wrong and a kid corrects you, you're like,
I'll toss him a Benny.
You cave his skull in.
Alright.
And now, if you want, you can also have an ion pistol.
I
probably won't.
I mean, I'll take it for now, for sure, until I can... Because once I get all my crap, I will... Well, ion pistol...
They're really cool up close, because they do a ton of damage up close.
At the worst, it's soluble.
Yes, you could sell it.
Yeah, okay. I'll definitely take it.
For more grenades.
For sure.
So...
also, somebody would probably get rid of that laser pistol I have and replace it with that.
Right. The one thing is that the range sucks on ion pistols. They are.
But my range on literally all my other guns, if I have them...
You would never use a pistol when you could use your rifle, at range. So, I'm assuming you dragged the body somewhere to, not have it sitting in the doorway.
I might even, empty out a sack and throw it in there and put it on the shelf.
It's 11 feet tall.
Oh, fucking whatever.
It's a big sack.
Yeah, you can hide it on the shelf. You're big enough to throw this thing behind a whole bunch of parts.
Me and this thing are as big as each other, so I can move it. And I have Cam and Faith. Faith can go.
Give me a tracking roll to find your stuff.
Suck. Here's where I spend.
They're hipsters.
Here's where I spend 10 minutes trying to find my stuff. A 4. My keen senses don't do shit because I know my stuff is magic.
What you hit?
4.
Okay. You find it within, 6-8 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not 30.
Up, down, up,
Thank
down,
God.
up, down. You find the premature duffel that you put all the stuff in. Just whoop, zip.
We're fucking ready to go now, boys.
Vibro claws are like kissing them.
It takes you another 10 minutes to gear up, to put your armor on, get everything ready. So
That's time well spent, though.
Because I'm flexing as I do it. Like,
Faith
You can't just put it on. You have to put it on. And be like,
super impressed. In fact, this entire time, Faith has just had the biggest grin on her face. Even though she's in terrible mortal danger, Faith is loving this. Cam is not. Cam is not confrontational. She's just holed up in a corner, watching the door nervously.
Faith thinks I'm a superhero.
There's a reason Faith knows these mines and out, because she thinks she's an adventurer, and she would play in the mines.
What did I roll for?
Nothing.
Because it was a 1.
I know, right?
It was an enemy
I
roll.
was like, yes, because that was
good.
definitely a notice what's going on yet from the other NPCs.
Now you need a stealth back. So you need a stealth, and then you're going to need a tracking. Stealth to get back into the caves, the mining caves, and then a tracking to avoid.
So stealth first, then
Stealth
tracking.
first. Okay. Let me see if Faith helps you. She finally helps you. You get a +1.
Thanks, Faith.
She just looks at me and goes, shh.
You're
If I
like,
never thought of
thanks.
that myself.
Thanks.
Yes. Dope. There we go. You just needed your equipment back. What the fuck is this?
Yep.
18. 19.
Yeah, you're
so goddamn
You are a
quiet.
shadow. You have Faith and Cam underneath your arm.
Let's fucking go.
Have you seen the video of the police dog in the tactical situation? Where
Where it's
stays
between the
his
legs? Yeah.
you
it's
have
pretty
you have the
creepy.
humans between your legs. You're moving around, keeping
That's
them
right.
safe.
Now tracking.
Now tracking to get back
Does
without running into anything.
Faith help me on this too, or just...
She doesn't have tracking.
Okay. I just know she knows her way around.
She knows her way around.
But if you threw her in the
she
woods...
knows exactly how to get there. You're
This is
trying to
tracking
avoid
to avoid-
gargoyle lights,
Got
gargoyles,
it.
anything that's in here.
The strategy is different. If she left the mine, she wouldn't necessarily know the...
Did you double one it?
Yeah. This has been a tough adventure.
Yes, it has.
We're so stealth, though. Come on.
You are so stealth that you come around a corner.
And I trip over a gargoyle because I didn't see it personally.
You're so stealth that you sneak away while Shani goes a different direction, or Amy goes a different direction. Faith.
Cam.
Cam.
Where'd you go with Amy?
I don't know. I keep thinking Cam's name is Amy for some reason. Miri. Cam Miri.
Cam
It's
Miri.
Amy Miri.
I just got a 19 on stealth.
Fucking dumb. I like what you went with first. There's a group of 3 gargoyle lights that were just kind of coming around the corner, and you're so focused, and you were smelling something from down another area that you missed the
And they're
scent.
small.
And they're small, and you literally tripped over one. So
Oopsie.
you have 3 gargoyle lights to kill as quietly as possible. Because you're still pretty close to the front.
You got vibro claws.
He does have vibro claws.
Fucking have my shit now, boys.
Dirty fucking dangles, boys. We'll snipe Sally, boys.
There's 3 of them.
Yep.
It's gonna crush
All right.
Nappies and nappies.
King, queen. So you're still going strong with your... Now that you're geared back up, you're going strong with the initiative cards like you used to. They got a 5 because they have no idea what just hit them.
They're like, we didn't see anything around here.
Now
And
there's
then-
a 10-foot tall dog boy. All right.
Alright, so there's 3 of them, and you said I have 3 turns to kill them as quickly, as silently as possible, right?
You have 3 turns. Or sorry, no, you have to kill them as silently as possible. They may scatter in different directions. You don't know. You need to kill them as quickly as possible and quietly as possible. If you start launching grenades...
Obviously, I don't want to launch grenades. I probably don't even want to shoot my weapons.
Ooh, grenades.
Yeah.
This would be a vibro claw.
Are they close enough to
Go
hit
to
2 of them?
You can if you want a multi-attack.
That's
a negative 2,
-2
right?
to each roll.
Don't do that. Yeah.
I'm like, kill anybody?
I think there's something against the rules that unless you have like a certain power you do it, but I don't care about that. You can also ask.
Cam still has one more ability.
Cam has one more ability. If you can tell her to try to snare him, you can tell him like if she wants, she can whip that thing up in one round and set it off.
Does she act during my go?
Yes.
That would be the round. Yours, hers, enemies. Then the next round.
It's like for you, it's like players go on any time one of you goes. You get to choose like your allies, and then all enemies go.
So I want to attack one.
Okay.
With my vibro claws, of course.
Uh-huh.
I want her to snare
the other two.
Okay.
Do it up.
I was like, I don't know who needs to do whatever first, but.
You're unrolling the loads.
Yeah,
that's pretty funny.
The chat room wants to know if all of you groom before getting on cam. Do you like specifically?
No, I roll out of bed sexy.
Yeah.
I shaved today and combed everything, including my beard.
I normally give my hair a once through, but
I wear a hat.
I always.
He also asked why everyone's wearing hats.
Oh, I have a bad haircut.
My hair hasn't been cut in a while.
Hipsters.
More like lazy stirs.
Yeah.
Lasers.
Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go, boys. I was wondering when the next fight was going to be.
13.
That's it with the raise.
Roll some fucking damage.
Yeah, what do my verbal claws do? Strength plus D8, mega damage.
With AP? AP 6 or
AP
something?
4.
AP 4.
Still, like, punching a small thing in the face with AP 4 is not too bad, right?
Oh, yeah.
Raise. Shit, what?
Raise is an extra D6.
I mean, we're
So
already
it's a
at
12, 17. Roll again. 18.
18. You know.
18?
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing is just stuck on the... it doesn't say stuck on the end of your vibro claws for long because they vibrate. It's just... and there's mush everywhere.
Never heard.
But yeah, you just cut through that thing like butter. There is no upper like shoulder head area of that gargoyle light anymore.
How did my girl Cam do?
So she like goes, like she just grabs, looks like a circuit board, slaps something else on it, like takes all the wiring that's sitting around it and like rolls it up and then throws it. It hits the ground, like plops down like that, and all of a sudden like 10 feet of wiring just explodes across the floor and snares and ties up their legs, and they just go, and they both fall down.
I like this. What do they do?
They tried to get untangled, which they, I think. Hey, one might succeed. Yes, he does. So one is like kicked himself out, the other is still snared. Ooh. Uh-oh. 4 and an 8.
It's okay.
It's alright.
They get a 7 and we win the game, boys.
7.
Hey.
Way to make that call. 7s. What's up, 7s?
Where's
You're
that
my
Benny
fucking
for
hero,
calling it?
7s.
You don't have to give him bennies.
Like, I need to do that more when you guys, like, make me laugh or, like, ask
bennies
for
for
bennies.
helping, yeah.
Like, when you make me laugh or do something cool or whatever, just say, hey, can I get a benny for that?
All right,
Because
so
I'm, like, remembering that I'm supposed to be giving these
I
things
invoke
out.
fortune.
I'm going to attack the one that's got
Free.
away. Because he's still within range. I imagine.
Absolutely.
It's just because he got away, he didn't run anywhere.
Nope. He just got his legs out and he's, like, looking up at you terrified.
That's okay.
4.
That hits. Regular hit.
Regular hit, that's fine. That's still strength plus D8, mega damage, armor piercing 4. Because these things are tough little bastards now that I don't have just a hammer.
Much better.
10.
Damage that's your strength plus the 2d6? Or is it 1d6? What's your
Oh, it's strength plus D8.
d8? Okay.
And then just mega
And it's
damage.
or
armor.
AP4.
Yeah.
Right. It is wounded.
Okay.
and shaken. It's trying to recover from shaken.
So this one is trying to recover from shaken.
This one is trying to recover from shaken.
And the other one was going to try to get out of the thing.
And the other one's trying to get out of the thing. The one does not recover from shaken. The other does not get out of the coils.
Perfect.
Ace.
10. I was just about to fucking roll again. I was like,
Club, you got your flush going again. 7. So, go.
This is the pre-injured one you're attacking.
This is the already injured one.
5.
Shaken. That hits.
4. 5.
5?
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to do anything.
You got your giggle.
You got a Benny if you want to reroll that damage roll.
Just reroll it?
Yep.
Okay.
Good start.
I was rolling the bad juju out of it. That's
true. It worked earlier, right?
Son of a bitch.
Come on. Get it in the hole.
9.
9 damage.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You finish it off. Barely.
Yeah, see? Fuck that.
Barely. Shut your mouth.
The other one gets free.
Okay. But that's all it does to get free of the snare.
Correct. You got your flush going with an ace of spades. Bam. Ace of
no copyright.
spades. 8 got a joker.
Get the...
At least it's just one gargoyle.
One gargoyle light.
Gargoyle light. Oh, she's even a gargoyle. Yeah,
my issue is that it's going to run away. I don't care about it attacking.
Whatever, you can shoot better.
I would love for it to attack me.
Right. Yeah, if you shoot, there's a high chance of being heard.
Oh.
Okay. So it flies.
Like with wings?
With wings. They have wings, so it's flying. What is your pace?
6.
Okay.
You need to shoot this thing.
If you can try to run and get to it, but it has moved further than your pace.
How well does it fly?
It just moved further than your pace in like 3 seconds. Yeah,
they're pretty adept. Its pace is 10 flying.
Okay. Your
pace is 6. So I think you have something with running because you're a dog boy that you get an extra D6 or something like that.
No, not. I think I could have if I was a different breed.
Yeah.
So you would essentially roll a D6 and add it to your pace and try to get a 10. You'd have to roll a 4 or higher to catch up to this thing. And you'd get the multi-action penalty for trying to attack as well. Or you can shoot it. And hope no one hears.
We're inside a tunnel, though, right?
Inside a tunnel. You're still you're only a quarter of the way into the tunnels, so you're still closer to the forge than you are to the back.
But so its action is over, though.
Its action is over.
It's just flying away.
It just flew.
So I would have to roll a what to keep up with it?
A 4. You'd have to roll a d6 and get a 4.
And then your next action would have a -2 for dual action.
To hit it as well.
Yes.
Or I could just shoot
or you can just shoot it. I ain't gonna lie. I think shooting is
I would think,
if it gets away, if you don't roll that 4.
I would think instinctively, like my response would just be like, "Fuck, we're gonna shoot this thing."
All right,
shooting. I haven't done you in a while.
Snap fire, so it's your wild die plus your rate of fire in shooting. So what your rate of fire is 3, right? So that's 3 D10 plus your wild die.
Perfect. Those other ones suck, but that one is a 10 itself, so an 18, a 4, and a 2.
So the 18 hits with a raise, the 4 hits, and the 2 does not hit.
Yeah.
What? Just keep going.
I was like, what do you do over there? So 3d6 plus 2.
Don't mind what's going on behind the curtain.
AP plus 2. So, but the one with the raise gets an extra d6, to the damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's already 12.
You get to reroll 6s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's already 12 plus 4, 16. Motherfucker.
Come on.
16, 19.
25.
Plus 6. Plus
26.
Plus 2.
Yeah, you shoot that thing out of the air.
That's like that one shot itself. I think just took care of this
It does
guy.
it hits like you hit it and it hits the ground like the ducks like straight down. But those shots echo through these caverns.
Such is life.
You hit it hits the floor, ambulance hits 60.
And let's hit 60.
So, are you going to try to go back in stealth mode, or are you just going to run?
I think at this point we're gonna book it.
Okay.
For
book it back
for the rest of the group.
Just get us back there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I know at least if I have him, and if Shani's there, like we have a chance if anything comes after us.
All right. So, you run through this, the rest of the maze, and you get back to the group.
It
is now 10 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to have the cliffhanger end here.
Okay.
So what's going to happen with this is that your blaze of glory counts for this segment of the adventure, the escape from the mine. So before everyone escapes with the mine, if everyone escapes with the mine, character's got to die.
I got that.
Next week we will continue this. And we'll see what happens as you try to get the entire group out. That is it for us. Thank you for watching, Galen. Give Robert shit for not watching. And we will see you guys next week.